stop streaming.
Look, you see?
Shit, I think it's kind of working. Well, no, you can't see. It's got excellent connection, but you can't. Oh, there it is. We're fucking live.
Check out YouTube? Check
We're on
it out.
YouTube. I don't know if you can hear us on YouTube.
We'll find out.
I have to find out.
I don't know how to say
And if I can.
Hold up. Oh, you stream live, huh?
I guess. I don't even know. Excellent connection. Like, and this should work. I'm just gonna record. Test, 1, 2, 3.
Hold on.
Test, 1, 2, 3. That looks like that works.
Let me turn the volume of my computer.
Alright, looks like that comes in. Okay.
There you go. Oh, it's going live, but it's not going through our headphones. It's going through the outside audio. Oh, see, it's going live, but it's not going through our headphones. It's going through the outside audio. So you can hear us.
So that's on YouTube actually right now? Or is that on our channel?
It's on YouTube's live. But it's not picking up the microphone audio, it's picking up the room audio. See?
So if we turn off our speakers?
Maybe.
So if we turn off our speakers?
Sounds really bad.
Let's test our headphones to see if we can hear ourselves in the headphones. You know? Like, what's that? Is that just feedback?
Yeah.
There's Carl. Carl's tipping.
It sounds bad. It sounds real bad.
Well, I mean, yeah, turn the channel off, I guess. So, like, go out to the...
Want we stop streaming or what?
I don't know. Who cares? It's entertaining. I was on YouTube and I was watching us. I'd be like, fucking these idiots. But yeah.
It sounds really bad, though. That's the thing. See.
It sounds bad.
Listen. That's what they hear.
Well, is it the levels? Like, do I need to turn this down? Like,
Now it stops.
is that better? It was just the levels. Like, check this out. I was on YouTube, and I was watching us, and I'd be like, fucking these idiots. But yeah.
It sounds really bad, that's the thing. See?
It sounds bad.
That's what they hear.
Well, is it the levels? Like, do I need to turn this down?
You say it.
Yeah, I think it's the levels. Like, I just scrolled down the maybe, and it stopped.
Hello? See, headphones working?
Your headphones are working?
Yeah.
I don't even know. Classic.
See, there goes again.
I should put this person on channel. See if we can talk to this person.
Who's it?
I don't know. Hello? David from the Vehicle Service Center. Is that coming? Can't hear him. Oh, I need my headphones on. It's David from the Vehicle Service Center. There goes again.
Stop it. That shit's so loud.
I think this is what everybody does when they live stream. There's just like tons of footage of them fucking everything up. And you're just like, what? It's like, dude, this is how every live stream ever started, just equipment tests. I don't really give a shit. I don't know what the feedback is, honestly.
I think it's because there's like that audio with this audio.
That's what it is. There's just like tons of footage of fucking everything up.
So Flash used to be like, what in the fuck?
Gold. It's just gold content.
You ever see it?
This will get like 500 views. Everything else would do just nobody gives a shit. I still don't really understand where the feedback's coming from.
I think it's because we have so much audio going, like the camera.
Let's see if I can hear it in the headphones, right? Because the headphones should be what OBS is getting.
Hello? Yeah, it's not messed up in the headphones.
You can hear it in the headphones?
Like you would be like normal.
That's tough. Yeah, that sounds good.
Dude, that noise.
Alright, well let me mess with the, because technically we can record right now. We just gotta mess with like the OBS settings.
I think it's great because you always see perfection, and now all you hear is
Desktop audio. This needs to be down to like 16.
oh, it's really high.
Look.
Yeah, because I think it's so high that it's causing feedback.
I mean, is it your camera that's picking it up, you think?
It's possible because of the feedback of the mics, right? And like it might be crossing paths with that audio and causing it to, like almost like when you're playing like a show and the microphone and guitar is too close to the speaker or something like that. Well, we don't have the speaker.
Yeah, I think it's actually. So Zoom 1 L8 disabled.
It's possible because now feedback of the mics, right? And like when you're crossing paths with that audio causing it to.
Let's try this.
Like almost like when you're playing like.
See if the sound goes off.
Microphone and guitar. It's cracking me up. You can't hear it in the room, but she was watching like, what the fuck is that noise?
So yeah, it's getting. What happens when we do this? Test, test, test. You can't hear it. Desktop audio. So maybe, I think maybe's the camera, frankly. Right? Because I think maybe's the camera.
Here. I don't know how to change the settings of the volume. Hold on, you know what though? Here. Let me try something. Yeah, it's not because.
What happens when we do this? Test, test, test. You can't hear it. Desktop audio. So maybe, I think maybe's the camera. Yeah. Frankly. Well, that stops the feedback. Right? I think maybe. Alright, let me try one other thing and do the MZ aux.
I don't know how to change the settings of the volume. Oh yeah, it's picking up the camera. I don't know how to try something. It's weird because it won't let us like choose the line in as the zoom.
No, let's do this. Let's make all the auxiliaries line 8. Desktop audio. So maybe. And desktop audio is disabled. Let's stop the feedback. Right? I think maybe. Alright, let me try one other thing and do the MZ aux. Make everything line 8.
Oh yeah, it's picking up the camera. I don't know how to try something. It won't let us apply the line in as the zoom.
All the auxiliaries line 8. Desktop audio. Snap. So maybe. Desktop audio. Yeah. just have MZ aux. It's pretty soft. Desktop audio. Get desktop audio. Like, let's turn everything on mute. Test.
Audio there.
Maybe. I think that's the camera. Right?
Yeah.
Test. So that's like way loud. We gotta go down to like -14. Test. I think we should start hearing shit. Like right about here. Test. Test.
Shit, fuck. Pick it up.
See? I think that's the camera mic. Somehow. I think that's the camera. Unless we're talking to this. Test. If that is any louder, then it's this mic.
Well, you can hear the mics, so that's good.
I mean,
Hello. Well,
so it's not the mics, it's the camera. It's definitely the camera.
yeah.
Maybe it's definitely the camera.
The way I look at it, dude, you can just stream using the room audio and
Just record here and then stream. The camera is really not going to get the call. Now we got it. Here we go.
Now we wait.
Right here. Test, test, test. Testa, testa, testa.
From clap.
It's coming. It's a delay. Let's hear hands moving. There's like a crazy delay now or something.
Yeah.
Oh, there's my hand moving. The audio.
I can hear it.
So we can
I'll turn up a little bit.
right here. Test, test, test. Turn it up.
Just
Test,
a
test,
little.
test it.
Because now you can hear it good. From clap.
Too good?
Yeah, let's see how it sounds in the headphones though. Hello? Okay. The headphones work.
Okay. Well, let's get this bitch back to audio hardware. We need ASIO. Get it.
Okay. That's picking it up.
Right here.
Because now you can hear it good. Well, yeah, let's see how it sounds in the headphones though. Hello? Okay. Where's your clap? Where you record the video, we know when it started.
Yeah, right. You got the clapper somewhere.
You know what though? When in doubt, just use this.
No, clapper's here somewhere.
Is it in the camera?
Clapper's always around.
Yeah.
Clapper's somewhere.
You know what though? When in doubt, just use this.
No, clapper's here somewhere.
Is it in the camera?
Clapper's always around.
Yeah.
That's what I do is fucking
So, production is Stupid TV, roll 37.12 Steve Martin, question mark, take 1 million, director, Dutch Returns 12, date 2001, date 32 Steve. It's doing that feedback again. Take 37.12. It's doing that fucking feedback again.
Does it stop if I undo the speakers?
Do what?
Does it stop if I undo the speakers?
Yeah, I think I need to turn it down. Again. I just turned it down.
Did that help?
Take 37.12. It's doing that feedback, it's funny.
Sure, if I just... No, the speakers are unplugged, so... I don't know what the feedback is.
I just turned it down.
How you get sound into that shit?
So annoying.
Like, turn off,
You can, yeah.
we plug this bitch in here, and then we just set it right in front of us, and then use it as the audio. Or you're gonna be like that? tell me if this little bee can be our audio.
Quiet. Is that the settings turned down to like negative 40 of the camera?
This bitch back here. That should get everybody's audio.
Oh shit.
Now can you use the whatever the fuck this thing is, Logitech for audio.
So will this be under here, like audio?
And go to audio and then like desktop audio. Chapter. What would default? Like if I go to my sound settings and make Logitech the default.
Yeah, you see. Oh shit. I got the clapper. Clap. Where's the thing?
Sound. Choose your output device. Choose your input device. No. Yeah, microphone, H2 Pro webcam. Input. Test.
Hold on a second. Let me. Here we go.
Test.
Yeah.
Test.
It's still picking up the camera, right?
No. I turned the camera off. I think we might have Zoom.
It's still picking up the camera, right?
No. I turned the camera off.
Oh, you turned it off?
Yeah, this is fucking auxiliary. Test. No, I think that's this bitch. Test. Yeah, fuck, we got this thing to work.
For audio?
Yeah.
Is the camera still on now?
Test. Yeah, fuck, we got this thing.
So the video's working.
The video's working. We have sound with this without the feedback.
Hold on a second. Look, the settings are on my camera. You can see, the settings. Alright, dude, I gotta get back to the video. How I do that, I don't know. Alright, dude, I gotta get back to the video.
Test. Let's go to settings. Let's go to audio.
There we go. Okay. Turn the.
Test your microphone.
That's mine?
Test. So this should be ASIO.
Hello? Hello? I can hear the headphones.
We got a problem now. Test.
That's
and
crazy,
one master
though.
left. So now we got the problem where line's not working. So it's not you can because the fucking computer thinks the input's that mic. Well, let me do that then.
What?
Let me go here to settings. Try this. Let me do that then. Sound. Digital audio. Choose your output device. Digital, I think I want to go with that. Choose your input device. Test, test, test.
Hello, hello.
I think I want to go with that. Choose your input. It goes back to here. Test, test, test.
Hello, hello.
I think I want to go with that. I don't know. Test, 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 test.
I just.
Christ almighty. It's happening again.
What?
Test, test. It's fucking input.
I might just not be able to live stream. Because it fucks up.
Refuse to accept this, dude. I'm gonna mute this bitch. Test, test, test.
Hello, hello. Yeah.
Let's close this bitch. We still got sound here though. We still got OBS. Right?
Yeah.
We got OBS and we open up Audition.
So he's picking up like the camera itself. Lucky 13. You know who wore 13? Your favorite player, A-Rod.
Okay.
You just see what's with the finger.
Test, test, test. Okay, we got this now. Test, test, test.
Hello, hello. Let's pick up our audio.
Master left. We don't have feedback at least. Master right. So we're ready to do this here. Let's get some motherfucking bump music. Just call it good. I don't really know what's picking up sound, honestly.
You hear good?
Good. I don't really know what's picking up sound, honestly.
My sound's just killer.
Here.
You gonna, so when we're ready, we'll start recording in OBS.
Yeah.
I'll get the clapper ready.
Cool.
I'm thinking today for audio, right? For opening music.
Yeah.
We need to do some Western stuff.
Brew a coffee.
I'll go check it out.
Check out some Western stuff.
Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, or you can do river stuff because we're doing river monsters, but either way.
Let's type in river. We'll do river.
Bayou. On the bayou.
Okay, Great River Road.
Jesus, pooch. Get my sandwich going.
We can't hear it because the speakers aren't plugged in.
Oh, let me do that. Plug these bees in.
There's one called Mountain River, Flowing River, Amazon River.
Here now. Still not playing. Classic. Oh, I gotta change this though. Try this.
There we go. These are like, you said Bayou, right?
You can do Bayou, you can do Gambler. I feel like a Gambler might bring up something good.
Oh, yeah. Kenny Rogers, man.
Riverboat Gambler.
That's a good band from Austin. Oh, this is just, I don't know, there's this one.
Alright, download that. Download button.
That's not a download button.
What?
I tried to add
Oh, we're not logged in. That's fine.
Oh, I was like, wait a minute.
Let me get up in there.
That's
Should be E underscore. No, I got. So we can actually license it. say it out loud. The world will hear.
That's all. That's about as fucking generic rumor. Okay.
Is this it?
Yeah. That was a cool opener, dude.
Beat that one. That's great.
I think it's funny. Let's do this.
Kind of an outro.
This one.
I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler.
We got like gunslingers. Gunslinger.
Can you imagine listening to this right now on YouTube? Is everybody listening to it? Oh, there's Gunslinging Hero, Gunslinger here. Ooh, there's this one.
I think we did that one before, maybe. These. Gunslinger 30. How long are those though? We need like a minute for the outro. This is way too short.
Gunslinger.
Oh. Do some funk or blues or
Heavy
something.
Guns. Gunslinging Hero.
Oh yeah. Feel that.
That's a good one for like a close opener, actually.
That's the opener.
You think so?
No.
Like that one? As the opener?
No. Let me kick him. The wrench will have. This is how the our fans watching. This is how the sausage is made.
Gunslinging Hero right here. I'm gonna slide it into.
I'm dropping egg everywhere.
That's fun. My floor. So that's a good opener, you think? Like.
Yeah. Alright.
And so then we need a closer. I feel is more melodic, more slower. Riding off. Keep up the grass. Is it good outro?
Pretty funny. That was pretty funny. Let's do that.
As an outro?
Keep off the grass?
Yeah.
This
is, everybody gets to see what it's like before we sit down and get somewhat organized. So these are the two. Gunslinging Hero for the opener, and then Keep Up the Grass for the closer.
That works for me.
Keep off the mound, you know what I'm saying? So I'll go ahead and you check this.
Did you already get it?
Yeah,
you get them downloaded and you save them in the SoundPad file?
Yeah.
Then we all good?
Alright, just close this and minimize it.
Pull it. I'll load it up.
There we go.
Got bump music.
I'm gonna plug the speakers.
Got coffee.
Speakers unplugged. I'll start recording.
Yeah.
We're gonna be
Might as well.
Okay, so once she gets situated, I'll do the clapper. That's when we know to start.
Yeah. Alright, let's get mixer. Right. Yep. Alright, mixer, SoundPad.
In front of people, I don't care.
One is no file. Sound assign. Gunslingers. One. I have no idea where the audio's getting picked up from, but I think that's hilarious.
I don't either, but
It's either this or the camera.
I'm not touching shit.
Keep off the grass.
I think it's your webcam, to be honest, because it sounds a lot closer to that. I think it's your webcam, to be honest, because it sounds a lot closer to that. Because look. Yeah,
Alright, well, let's do a little headphones test on the bumper. Alright, well, let's do a little headphones test on the bumper. Here's the outro.
Yeah, dude. You know, Ernie, it's a fine day to be.
That's hilarious. I don't know. Should we plug in the speakers, or do you think it messes everything up?
I leave the speakers out.
What about when we do the call?
You probably plug it in then. I don't know if it'll pick it up good. Like if we're recording in OBS, we can just link up the audio.
Yeah. All right.
The call. So I'll do the clapper.
I love do the clapper action.
I want to start recording. Hit that button.
Might as well.
I'm gonna click it.
Click it. Do it.
And then this will be, I don't know what audio's coming from, but.
Get my shit together.
Oh,
I do with my Mexico hat.
We haven't recorded an audition yet.
Oh, that's okay. I'll do that. I'm ready.
So whenever
we're ready to roll.
Because we're recording whenever we start recording audition, I'll do clap and do
Okay, yeah.
the second time.
Second time, second clapper.
This is when you know to start this.
Okay, do it.
Put my headphones on. I'll grab the clapper.
And we're live.
You recording?
We are live.
So when you see the big spike in audio.
Yeah, let's get the bumper going. I always like to have some intro bull faded up. Let's go. Showing up in the master. Got May 3rd, 2022, bud.
Nakatomi Towers, 97.9 The Cat.
May 3rd. Dutch Chattahoochee. 2022, bud. I love the intro.
I think it's great.
I got my hat at the flea market.
I got my hat at the lid store.
It's nice. I'm liking some Oakland A's stuff. Look at that. Oh yeah. It's a beautiful song.
It brings back a lot of memories. Remember when you and I used to go riding trails, riding from the law?
Yeah, I was telling Mr. Nakatomi Towers he needs to, get some mariachis to hang out at the building.
I agree. But he says they'd be a distraction.
All right, I'm gonna fade it down. Bam. Intro, bumper. We gotta turn off that YouTube maybe. Do we need that or can we mute that?
Well, I can mute this, yeah.
So that's gonna drive me.
It's gonna drive you crazy.
Like the delay.
Yeah.
But
I only had it on just to
see if it actually works.
Yeah, because you know how this technology.
Yeah, we'll get this episode. We'll get it cut. I can't imagine anybody's watching it. I'm not really worried. If there is somebody watching it who does know anything about live streaming, this is an L8. It has like at least 8 channels plus like we can plug cell phone into it, and then we have OBS and Audition, and we're recording an Audition because that's how we put everything up on Spotify.
You know what? Here's what we'll do. I'll text my wife. If you're awake, we're live streaming.
Yeah, so get her to see what it looks like.
I got this weirdest text message right now.
Yeah.
It says, "Hi Earl, my name is Sergeant Paz with the Marines. I am reaching out to see if you'd be interested in learning about education and career opportunities."
Dude, that's awesome. You're gonna become a devil dog and leave the podcast.
Go fight for the country, I guess.
Get fix bayonets and show me your war face.
I do have a voicemail. I wonder if it's
like, how does he get onto you? Is he just like?
I bet these are my sunglasses coming in today. I'll have to listen to that after the show. Actually, yeah.
The Marine Corps. I like the recruit and Sergeant Paz. Shout out.
They kind of want my talents.
Semper Fi.
They want my talents, but I'm like, I'm out of that game.
I mean, who's to say you might not be the most deadly sniper in the world, and we're sitting here cutting podcasts, and you just have this eagle eye. You can see the vapor trail of the round striking some sort
Sitting in this tower right now, I can see all the way to Six Flags.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah, I think you know, don't give up on Sergeant Pass. If the podcast doesn't work out, you could always join the Corps.
Call me. Sergeant, are you still available?
Yeah.
I got something to talk to you about.
Need to encourage all my Marine Corps buddies to listen to podcasts. I don't really know who's listening anymore, but I know two people who might be listening, and that is Mr. Gigliotti and Mr. Barry, who will be having the Seguin River Monsters manager. We're going to have a call in here in about 10 minutes after we do a little bit of intro BS, kind of roadmap it,
Talk
and
about
then
our roadmap.
get back to it. I made my little notes last night if I can find it, but here's some roadmap items. We can look back.
I saw you did what I did. You just started doing it on the computer rather than having like 5 pages.
I used to print it out, but I was up late last night.
Yeah, me too.
And the television show that me and Elle are going on right now is Ozark, which is insane.
I love that show.
It's a crazy show. So I was trying to like watch that over the top of this while making notes, and the roadmap is, and I think we'll probably do some like college baseball UTSA review after we get Mike and Mr. Gigliotti and Mr. Barry on the phone, because then I think talking about the roster and the college players on the River Monster will just kind of lead into college content, because I was doing some research on how they're doing the regionals these days, with the 64 teams that get in and the super regionals and who ends up in the College World Series. Also, not that rankings mean anything. I think rankings are fun. Obviously,
yeah.
The only ranking is the one that at the very end of the season when you're the national champion. It's the only one that matters. But as a mid-season and former player, you would always look at them to see who thought they were special or who the press decided was special. And then it's always fun if you can knock off a ranked team. It meant something. But I mean, the numbers really don't mean anything. But in my personal opinion, UTSA is being disrespected, which I think is fuel to the fire for a good team, right?
You said they were ranked 45, right?
I don't know. I saw something on Twitter that had the top 50 college baseball rankings, and I know Texas State is like up there. They could be like top 10 still. So I was like, all right, well, there's a barn burner up in San Marcos, and these are midweek games, so it's not a conference, but still, that was kind of a close game. Well, at least the last inning made it close. And then they came down to San Antonio, and the Roadrunners beat them down here. So you split a series with a top-ranked team, and the gap between Texas State's ranking and UTSA's ranking is massive. Like UTSA is ranked 47, which is disrespected. I'm fine if you want to throw fuel on that fire, because I think that's a good ball club, and I'm hoping they go deep. But yeah, we'll talk some River Monsters, and while we're talking River Monsters, we can pitch some promotional ideas, because I've got some.
That'll be fun. I have a few.
Hey, I bet you got tons, buddy.
Why do you say that?
You just got good ideas. You're kind of good at everything, Dutch.
I try.
Yeah. Which game did you go to, this Missions game you catch?
Missions, yeah. They played the, who did they play?
Well, Springfield was the game
Springfield
I saw.
Cardinals, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, they were there.
My camera, I suck at taking pictures.
There was like this little corner. There's like nobody from Springfield really. There was like a family, and they were happy the whole time. They're like, yay, even though they lost.
Yeah.
And then one of the batters started crying.
Springfield's doing the thing.
And I'm like, why are you crying?
Springfield's doing the thing where they have the minor league affiliate uniforms very closely match the major league teams, but then the Missions are the Padres, but they don't really look much like Padres.
Which is funny, because I was talking to
It's kind of cool.
I was talking to my friend who I went with, and I was like, I love when the minor leagues match the MLB team uniforms.
I'm kind of the other, because we've seen that uniform, right? But
Yeah.
when you're the Trash Pandas or the Chattanooga Lookouts or something weird, that's like, okay, that's a totally different hat, totally different color scheme, and a totally different logo. So for like people that us like uniforms and hats and stuff, that's kind of fun.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, it is kind of cool. It makes sense, I guess, to get. But like the Buffalo Bison's jersey we got for Vladdy Jr. I mean, that's the Toronto Blue Jays.
The one I was rocking like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's like the Blue Jays AAA. And
Yeah.
it doesn't really look much like the Blue Jays, so it's kind of cool that you get Buffalo Bisons. I like it when it's a little bit different personally, but that's my own. So that's another roadmap thing I ordered. There's a dude called Jay Daniel who's wrote a book called Finally. It's about the 1980 baseball season. I'll actually pitch it here because I'm reading it, and it's pretty good. I might give it to you, and then you can give it to Mr. Nakatomi.
What do you want to talk about?
Oh,
You know what? Here's what we'll talk about.
you talk about whatever you want to talk about, buddy.
So later on in this episode here, we're going to talk about the, what do you call it? MLB promotions that went bad.
Yes.
Like,
I know Disco Night's quite famous.
Yes, there's also $2 beer night. So we'll talk about things like that. There was actually, I don't remember what year it was, but there was a white T-shirt contest.
There's a wet T-shirt contest?
There was a wet T-shirt contest.
That's
yes.
the kind of stuff they were doing.
I actually wrote it down so I can look it up and see what year it is because I'm not sure, but that was kind of funny.
And I thought of that because I was reading the beginning of Jay Daniel's books. He's kind of going through the history of the Phillies and talking about the different ownership, and like they had some bad owners. The owners
The
were
Phillies?
the Phillies, and I can't remember. It like goes way back to the 1800s. He's talking about the different owners they had. Like one owner was such a jackass, he got like banned from baseball, and then another guy, he what did he do? So one of his promotions was I'll tie tickets to the legs of pigeons and have them fly around town. I kind of like that idea. I'm gonna pitch that. And then
My wife is now watching the live stream.
Okay, did she hear anything?
She said she saw us, so hopefully some kind of audio is going through.
Who knows? So pigeons tickets, tied tickets to pigeons' feet. He had a circus on the baseball field, which I'm sure is really good for the turf. And then another thing, this is how, I don't know if it would have made sense in this series, but like the Philly team kind of sucked forever, and then they finally had like, I think it was like Grover Cleveland and some other good players or whatever that, and I'm saying that wrong, I gotta read the book again, but anyway, they made the World Series, and then the owner was like, F that, I need to make as much money as possible, so he sold more tickets. He's like, I want to sell more tickets than I have seats, so he just like roped off part of right field, but they're playing like the Boston, maybe the Red Sox, could have been the Bean Eaters, I don't know, but they were playing Boston in World Series, and because he made right field a short porch, Boston had some left-handed hitters who hit some dingers into the roped off area, and they lost the World Series. What do you think of that?
That's crazy.
Shot himself right in the crank.
You know, when I think of the Phillies, I always think of John Kruk.
I was thinking Kruk and
Yeah,
Dykstra.
yeah.
You had
Jimmy Rollins.
Mitch Williams. Jimmy Rollins was in. I was looking at Marlon Anderson. He was a South Alabama alumni. He was with the Phils for a while. And,
Mitch Williams is the best Phillies player ever.
You had Jim Eisenreich, who's a good ball player. Kevin Stalker, who I want to say was a University of Washington guy, ended up at shortstop. I could totally be wrong.
Did you mention, what's his name, Lenny Dykstra?
Dykstra nails. Dykstra had some issues with the law.
Yeah,
may
I was
have
watching
been related to some ego issues, but I was like the biggest Lenny Dykstra fan like his whole career, and then he kind of went maybe money grabbing too much, and I think he ruffled a lot of feathers, got himself in some trouble. But I don't know the guy.
They've had some studs.
He was awesome with the Mets too when he came up.
Yeah, they had some studs over the years, like Ryan Howard had that little stretch.
What happened to Howard, right? He was so good.
I think he got hurt, and it kind of affected
injury.
his swing, sort of, I think, something like that. Because he was a powerhouse for, like, what, 3 years, 4 years, something like that?
Yeah, the Phils are, if you're not a Phillies fan, they're a fun team to like. I liked them because that John Kruk team was just dirtbags. They were this real scrappy team. I'm trying to think, you had Darren Dalton, I believe was a catcher. And then
for me, it would have been the younger days
Dykstra.
with him.
That was a good ball club.
Yeah, I'm a little younger than you, but to me, it would have been Ryan Howard and Chase Utley in the mid 2000s.
Utley was so
That's
good.
That's kind of was like, okay, this.
Jimmy Rollins.
Yeah,
they've
had a good history of good
Shane
players.
Victorino,
yeah,
the Flying Hawaiian.
They've had a good history of good players. Unfortunately, they just haven't won a World Series in forever. But when was it, like 2000 something when they won their last World Series?
That's a good question.
I think it was. Remember when they?
Oh, because they had Utley. That was that team.
Yeah, Howard, I think, too, possibly.
Oh, and of course, my favorite of all time was Matt Stairs, who played on many teams, but I think he was on the Phils when they won that World Series.
He's a utility legend.
Man, there's some good articles on Stairs that are, along the lines of if you let Matt Stairs play, 150 plus games a year, like you just let him be your regular, left fielder or whatever, or first base, and he got the same at bats as some of these guys for like a, 17 plus year career, or even a 15 plus year, the guy's a Hall of Famer. I was like, I kind of agree with that. That dude could rake. And he was, Matt Stairs, you love even more because he doesn't have that physical appearance prototype that people think is going to be a super athlete, but the guy, in fact, was a super athlete. I think he's awesome at hockey. He's, I believe, in the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame, as he should be. But
so here we go. Yeah, 2008 World Series.
Was the Phils.
Yeah, so they won one in 80, and then they won one again in 08.
Oh, man. And I think Stairs was on that team. But I don't have to be accurate about baseball. We can talk River Monsters and all kinds of River Monster developments and signings. They have also, and I kind of want to mention this guy. I want to highlight. There's another podcast that's partnering with the River Monsters. Did you
saw
see that?
And he said he would be in some games this year. I'm like, we should partner with him.
We got to talk with that guy because I don't view it as competition. It's the same as the guy who's posting cats at 3BGB. I was like, that's just good cross pollination.
You know what it is? It's the same thing as being in a band. We podcast. He's in a band. We're in a band. We play a show together. We podcast together. Same thing.
That's how it works. You go on tour,
Yeah.
like Wu-Tang Clan, right? All great individual rappers, but you put them together and you make Wu-Tang Clan.
We could
it's
be
even bigger and better.
Combine our two podcasts and make it like one Seguin River Monster focused podcast, where that's mainly what we talk about. Talk about the games, right? The roster moves, players, stats, all that good stuff, promotions. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Make it fun.
And did you watch any of his videos? And I want to get it right. It's like it's like the Take Two. Is it Take Two podcast? I want to
something like that.
We got to look it up though.
I think I saw that on Facebook. Yeah, it was on Facebook that I saw it. They announced it yesterday. I was like, oh shit.
Sponsor highlight. Let's do some sponsor highlights here. You got the Texas Baseball Report. It's a sponsor, which is awesome. And then you got the official jersey provider, which is.
Speaking of which, my hat and my baseball shirt I ordered,
Sports.
It's on its way.
Okay.
So hopefully the next week I'll be able to come in and wear that shit.
Got Alex Lopez signing from U of H. Then you got, here it is, the two, let's see here. Let's Get Two podcast.
That's what it was.
Awesome.
I was thinking Clap 2 for some reason. Here, I'll have to bust out my phone. Oh, by the way, my wife said she can hear and see the video.
That's awesome.
We're solid.
Hi, Miss Raymond. We love you. James Christopher. So the Let's Get Two podcast, I watched that dude, and if you read his profile, he does like pro film and stuff like that, and I checked it out, and I was like, this is what I love about us, is because we have no idea what we're doing, or totally unprofessional. But he is.
Pros. We're actually
His stuff,
pros.
we're kind of pros, and that dude's really pro. His stuff, he had all these like graphics and like little screens. He was doing like call-ins. He must know how soundboards work. Maybe he can fix this problem. But he was like, video this guy, video that guy. He's like interviewing them.
I wonder if like
remotely the sound was awesome. There's graphics. I was like, this guy's gonna take this operation to the next level.
I wonder if that's like if like that's like his main, like that's all he really does is podcast stuff.
It looks like he travels a lot and checks out games. And I want to get it right because he's a person with two first names, James Christopher James. It's James Christopher. I'm just gonna call him Jimmy. Jimmy James.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah. But Dutch Jet Hooch and Turnstile, we're like a little Goonie bird trying to take off. We're galloping along, flapping our wings.
Hey, we're 22 subscribers in, so what's up?
22 subscribers is way strong. And Mr. Nakatomi says that when he goes back to Japan and he starts auditing some of his manufacturing plants, he's going to force people to listen.
You know what he told me?
What did he tell you?
He told me that he thought about changing from 97.9 to CAT to 97.9 3BGB FM.
Oh, that's awesome.
He said he'd have to get it worked out with like the city.
Oh, nice.
But he said there's a 75% chance that may happen. So let's fingers crossed.
I like it. I just like how he abuses our management, because he's not really like in the production, like radio production flow. But since he owns everything,
he can do what he wants. He's like, you work for me now, so you want a job or not? I'm like, yes sir, yes sir.
All right, I just got a text
From
the management of the Seguin River Monsters.
What they say?
And this is where Mike G.
They said, sign me up.
Mr. Gigliotti and the legendary Scott Berry are at the field as we speak. Smokey Joe Williams.
They're setting it up.
Municipal Stadium. Yeah, they're down there doing things. I said, we'll call you here in a second, and we'll get it going.
They said, okay.
All right, buddy. Well, that's kind of what I got. Just Seguin River Monsters action.
It's actually a really nice looking park if you like go to their website and look at it.
Smokey Joe Williams, and we'll probably talk about this more when we do the River Monsters, but I was looking at all these different college websites trying to look at the stats of the rosters of the River Monsters, and the one thing I did notice, just mentioning stadiums, so I thought Hillsborough Community College was in Oregon, and there is a Hillsborough, I believe, in Oregon, but the Hillsborough Community College that these two cats go to is in Florida. So I was like, all right, let's check out this school, and it's Landon Morrison goes to Hillsborough, and then there's a pitcher, Matthew Johnson, who might be your favorite because he's from Tampa. But
yeah, that's my favorite.
But those two guys go to Hillsborough Community College. I was looking at their website. All these colleges, some of them kind of use maybe the same software or like website design for their stats. I couldn't find Olu stats for some reason. Like, I don't know what's up with their website. But
there was a few, like I was able to pull up, but it was only in 2 games in or something.
Yeah, I don't really know.
And there was some others, like I was trying to look at their college stats, and there was a lot where they had, the website itself had not even any stats. It had team stats, but not individual players.
Did you look at University of Houston? I thought they had they just had a PDF, and it was like 10 games old.
Yeah, because I was trying to find the catcher, and I couldn't find anything on this guy.
Yeah.
I found like his...
I found that he's an awesome student.
Yeah, I found like
Cade Brewer is a genius. He's like a National Honor Society guy.
So what I did find...
Maybe he can figure out our sound. It's like, Cade, check this out.
What I did find about him was his 2018 high school report, like his rankings and his grades and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and one other thing, I do want to give a big shout out.
He did run a 60-yard dash in 7.59, so that's not too bad.
That seems insanely fast. And yeah. I don't know. I couldn't run 60 yards. But Jack Ivey, the great promoter of the Weimar Hormigas, texted or DM'd me on Twitter. He's like, dude, I finally got a hold of Andrew Dunn of the Pecos League, and I've handed over the Twitter handle to him. So the Pecos League is in control of that social media. And then he also goes, I've found some of your stats when you played college summer baseball in New York.
Turnstile himself?
Yeah, and I believe I found that Mahoney guy you were talking about that hit the 3 home runs out of your home ballpark that nobody on your team could ever hit a home run out of. I was like, dude, this guy, Jack Ivey, is the basically the type of baseball mind that we just gotta grab and hold on to, because I was like, dude, we gotta get Jack to be a caller on a show, because his knowledge is voluminous and his research skills are obviously, fantastic. So I just want to give a shout out to Jack. And when we talk, I'm sorry, I'm a hot windbag, but when we talk to Mike G and Scott Berry, I feel like we're gonna get a sense for how busy these dudes are trying to put together this team with all these sponsors.
They don't sleep.
There's no time. But imagine Andrew Dunn. He's not only doing that for a team, he's trying to do that for a league. That's the Pecos League. That dude's busy. That's why he doesn't get back to an email for a while, because that's how busy those guys are.
So this is a random thing I want to talk about. It's not very long, but it's
I need you to go, because I'm plugging in the phone now. We're about
Speaking of college baseball, so there's this guy this weekend. He's a pitcher for Tennessee. Okay?
Yeah. Oh yeah, this guy.
Oh, you heard about him?
Joyce. He's throwing like 105.
Yeah. So Ben Joyce threw 3 pitches at 105, 15 pitches at 104, and 28 pitches at 103. So it says out of his 33 fastballs, 28 were 103 plus. So this guy's throwing heat and not even getting tired, right?
That's
I took a
crazy.
screenshot of that when I saw that. I was like, that's fucking cool as fuck. It's interesting.
That's so crazy, but like if anything, I fear, right, what's happening to all these young kids that throw so hard, right? It's Tommy John in a couple years. And
Rotator
then,
cuff from
yeah,
tear.
yeah. There's just all like, you know, it's not the Greg Maddux who's topping out at 91 with a changeup and switching it up, and you still can't hit that.
I remember when I was
It's
a
just
kid.
Heat. Let me throw as hard as I can for 6 innings, dude. Your arm's gonna give.
Like when I was a kid in the 90s, I thought 95 was awesome. Like, that's fast. Now it's like 100 something.
Well, the argument now is the 105 isn't really 105 because the old guns measured the balls across the plate, and the new guns are measuring as it's coming out of their hand. So it's like all the numbers are like way higher now anyway.
And now also exit velocity on the bat is a big thing.
Yeah, you got to get all these metrics.
There's stats for everything.
All right. Well, tell me some funny stories about Mr. Nakatomi, and I'm gonna try to get Mike on the phone.
I do remember the first time we had Nakatomi over for he invited to his house for a barbecue.
Oh yeah, it's ringing. Mike's ringing. This is gonna be awesome if he picks up right now. Oh, Mike, can you hear me? Oh my gosh, you're talking into the soundboard. You're on the. Technically, we're live streaming. We had some issues with. I mean, you guys can check it out on YouTube. We got Earl's Dutch Chattahoochee's wife watching. She's like, yeah, I can actually see it and hear you guys. So this is maybe the. I don't really know. Like, this is how confusing it is. We don't even know what mic is picking up sound.
It's not picking up the soundboard mic. So when we go back in and do the video itself, we'll have to link up the audio with the video.
But it's not. Are you guys side by side? Should I call Mr. Barry? Oh, perfect. Well, we were just talking about how busy of a man you must be.
No sleep.
But we'll get Mr. Barry on the phone, and all right, let me try to merge the calls. Maybe should I just keep you on the horn, or just let your phone save that? I see. Let's see here. All right, I'm gonna try to do that right now.
Don't mess it up.
All right, audio and technical. You never know. All right, let's go back here, and I'm gonna go down, and then I'm gonna call this number. Let's get Mr. Barry on the phone.
Technology is too advanced.
All right. Part 2. New York 315. That's what we got here. Oh no, is this Mr. Barry, Mr. Scott Barry? General manager of the Seguin River Monsters. I'm going to try to merge calls. I wonder what happens to get echo, or if we should just keep it on one phone. Oh, okay, well then, we're just on Scott's phone. We got you guys on speaker then. I think so. I'm getting you on my headphones instead of on the phone, and I think it sounds great. So we'll just go from here. And I'll go with bio, and then Earl may have some questions. But you boys, you gentlemen played baseball together, if I'm not mistaken. This is Utica though. This is Utica, New York. Is that correct? That is awesome. Now, if you guys were an expansion franchise, you guys were like the 1970s Mariners, Seattle Pilots coming on there.
Except they didn't have a shit season. They went undefeated.
They probably did. Now, similar to Walter Matthau's Bad News Bears. It's just kind of this turnaround that happens. Start believing in yourself, and the coach stops drinking.
From
That
first to
definitely
last,
helps.
as they say.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, gentlemen. I want to refer to, and I want to get your name right, Mike. And it's Gigliotti, right? It's a silent G on the second G. Gelati. Okay. Okay, so gelati, because I kind of want to be in the stadium chewing out junior peanut vendors, like that's Mr. Gelati to you, punk, and then make them do push-ups, and just kind of that sort of verbal abuse to hand out, or get some kid that's like helping park cars is like, you know, Mr. Barry says jump, you ask how high, mofo, because and just kind of just run a tight ship is what I'm looking to do there. But well, that's great. So how's the ballpark? What's the seating capacity down there at Smokey Joe Williams? Nice. And I'm just spitballing here as ideas pop into my little brain. What about a hot tub? Get a hot tub sponsor and just be like, bro, this is just free advertising. Just throw up one of those little inflatable hot tubs, and then turnstile Dutch Chattelhooch you get in there in the sixth inning, call an inning. Yeah, or yeah, just maybe a kiddie pool. Maybe a kiddie pool's the way to go there. Something like that. Well, that sounds good. The city's on board. I'm seeing tons of sponsors coming on board, which look awesome. And then you guys are just working your butt out. I imagine it's a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, and then, like, is it you, Mr. G, that's working the sponsorships, and then Scott's working the player signings. How are you guys dividing and conquering, or is this basically like let's just do anything we can do to push the ball? That's awesome. That was kind of the next question. I found summer baseball in Schenectady due to my junior college coach, and just kind of kept with it for 3 summers. So the legendary Coach Reyes, the field general, is because there's a lot of different schools. You got two guys coming from Florida. You got Arkansas Tech. You got a grab bag of junior colleges here in Texas, and then you got some University of Houston guys. Is that just and you guys probably have network from being baseball guys yourself, but Coach Reyes and his assistant, Coach Morales, kind of tracking these guys down. Like, that's interesting. So, how many of those guys would you say are like direct signs after you got, that weren't through the general manager or Coach Reyes, where you're like, okay, we got a form from this guy, let's look into him, and that's kind of interesting too, because and this is Tony Texas Tony Turnstile's personal opinion. You guys are doing a service to the community, bringing baseball, but you're also helping the players get their reps in. Young college players, freshmen, redshirt dudes. And we're looking at some of these guys' numbers. Some of them aren't getting that much playing time because they are freshmen. So you guys are giving people a shot. How does that come about with the player forms? So what is I'm looking at the roster. It's pretty filled out right now. What is there a TCL cap, or is it just like, hey man, I know guys rotate in and out. What's the roster rules for the league? Yep. That's interesting. Mid-season call-ups. Somebody'll. Have you seen guys go from the TCL league out to like Cape Cod or Alaska and things like that? Interesting. Is the Appalachian League? I'm sorry for interrupting there. Is the Appalachian League the Savannah Bananas one, or is that a separate? Okay. It's crazy. I mean, I just became aware of them through social media, and maybe that's the segue into insane marketing ideas, none of which you guys have to listen to. The fact that you're even getting on the horn with us and you're gonna let me and Dutch hang out at the field is epic. But well, it's a partnership made in heaven. People just baseball nuts finding baseball nuts in the baseball world, but I'm going to throw it to Dutch because Dutch has done some research on promotional get downs, some of which have gone sideways. But I've got some ideas cooked up. What are you thinking over there, Dutch?
Me?
Yeah.
What's your idea?
Well, I
Since
mean,
you seem to be hot and ready to discuss it.
well, here's one I was gonna throw at, and I like to say just Mr. Gelati and Mr. Barry, because it's the military structure in me. It's the Marine Corps in me. You got to have rank structure. It'll be chaos without it. Remember how they had disco night in Chicago?
Yeah.
Went sideways. People are blowing up records. Total chaos. This kind of things. Bill Veck they did. What if you did the opposite? Go pro disco night. We got those little glitter balls everywhere. I bust out some huge butterfly collar and I'm just dancing my ass off up there. Do you think the people of Seguin are ready for a disco night? Like, and market it as a resurrection of, you know, as you remember, like, everybody was always crapping on Bill Buckner, and then Boston said, dude, we were dicks. That was mean. That dude's just trying to do his best out there. He's a good hitter for us, a good player. Made one flipping mistake, and we dumped on him for decades. Brought him back as the most beautiful, heartwarming apology ever. Maybe baseball needs to make an apology to disco. And we'll do it for the city of Chicago. I don't know. That's one idea I had. Yeah, so we'll go. We'll definitely I'll put on some skates. I'll put on some roller skates, and honestly, there's some really good. Mainly, I see it with like whoever the NCAA college basketball coaches were in the '70s, but there were some sweet leisure suits that happened, and I don't know where I get them if it's the Goodwill, but I'm not against a leisure suit. So that's one idea I had. Oh, and another one, there's a good cigar shop. I want to talk to that guy in Seguin. I don't know if you guys have like driven into town on I think it's 90 Business. You go past Granzine's, and then there's like it looks like a storage facility, but there's a sign that says cigars. I've been in there and talked to that guy. They're pretty nice. I think I bought a bunch of cigars when Teddy was born. It's like handing these things out. Haha, I did nothing. I'm a dad. Now it's really hard. But I was like, I gotta smoke cigars, but that was good. And I was like, I feel like I'm gonna light up a nice stogie after home wins. That's what I'm gonna do. But I get this cigar sponsor in there.
Shit, after a home win out to knock back a natty light, shotgun it.
But and I talked to that guy. Oh, and the other one I had, which I teased, but I've gone to the next level on the Blues Brothers Daily Drive promotional. So the Blues Brothers Rhythm and Blues review at the Palace Ballroom, epic show as we all know, but they canvassed the city of Chicago the day of the show with a directional speaker on the hood of their Calumet police car, and that was phenomenal marketing. So I went to the flea market because I love the flea market, and if you haven't been to Traders Village, go. It's amazing. Got myself a couple speakers. Granted, they look like Mexican flags because I like the colors, and they were $50 a pop. But I think I can actually. They're Bluetooth speakers with mics. I think they have the cable mic. I can pinch those in the windows outward of the 2016 Kia Sedona, and I can drive up and down the streets of Seguin, Texas. Just go downtown Seguin. I'm definitely gonna lap. HEB gets so much traffic. I'm gonna go Walmart, HEB, downtown, and like circle TLU, and just have like a figure eight. I'm due through town for about an hour, saying River Monsters game tonight. You want to see some excellent college baseball? Come on down to Smoky Joe Williams.
We'll have signs too on the. I'll be hanging out the side of the car with a sign.
I think that needs to. Well, something like that. I don't know.
I'll get a megaphone. I'll just walk down the streets.
I'm spitballing here. Well, oh yeah. Do that. I'll make sure I give a couple tickets to the sheriff's department and the local police department so they like don't pull over my highly illegal vehicle as I'm driving through town. Make sure to stay on the right side of the law.
I think if I want to walk around downtown with a megaphone, I need a permit, but fuck the permit, just do it anyway.
Well, who's gonna pull over Kia Sedona anyway? It's the greatest vehicle ever made.
Like, we're not from this city.
Let's let me have you guys feature some sponsors you might like. We were talking, and I can't remember if I mentioned it, but we teased it. I believe it was the Take Two podcast. We like that guy a lot. We fear no competition. We like to cross pollinate, and James Christopher. Oh, it's Let's Get To the show at Let's Get To the show, and I checked out some of his stuff, and it was awesome.
I think we should combine with the guy and make like an exclusive like Seguin River Monster podcast or show or something.
Yeah, River Monster's got some sponsors coming in just in the last so many hours, and that just tells me that you guys are busting your butts.
I think it'd be cool also to do like a pregame and postgame show, right?
Yeah, well, you got to do player of the game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Postgame.
Well, talk about the game. I think we'll definitely do that. That would like team up with that guy.
Gotta do that stuff, and really it's about the kids and the coach. Give these guys a push. You know, my hot air. I can fill 24 hours a day of bullshit, but I want to hear what these kids are saying about their at bats. I want to hear what the coach is saying about the ball game. I don't know Coach Reyes. He doesn't have to be Lou Piniella and throw bases, but that would be awesome if he was too. Then I could talk to him about what happened with that call. That was an awesome meltdown. But anything he does is going to be good with me. But if you guys want to pitch some sponsors you like that you got on board, and also talk about some of these sign-ins. Got Alex Lopez from University of Houston coming. Looking like a good second baseman. Nice. Oh yeah. Nice. 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 Oh, that sounds awesome. It's hard to remember. You guys are busy. That's sweet. How is the host family thing shaping up? Because I know you guys are always looking for lodging on that. Are all the host families in Seguin, or are there some people in San Antonio too? Or how's that working? Oh yes. Oh, Bob Belize and his bingo parlors and his slums in the slums of Albany. I don't know where he got those buildings, but they were definitely not up to code. But you throw a mattress on the floor and put in a Sega Genesis, some pastaroni, and you throw. You always had to have. We had always had ice pops. You got to throw a pack of those ice pops in the freezer, and we were living college kid paradise. I think I don't really know. That was one thing we talked, like it kind of changed every so like, and I can't remember when Tiger Woods came out, but I think it was just like PGA Tour golf was the first summer, and we just played that golf game forever, and then the second one there was like I want to say it was the Nagano Olympics, uh, Winter Olympics. That's how old I am, but it was like the luge, like that was it. Like there's a million events on it. You can do skiing and hockey, you can do all this stuff. But no, we did was luge.
Those
And,
games broke your fingers because you had to tap the buttons so
well, no,
fast
that's
over and
the
over and
luge.
over.
The luge was all steering. There's no tapping. It was just how you entered the corner and exit the corner kept your speed up. And so yeah, that was amazing. And then I can't remember what the other summer was, but maybe the last summer was the one we were in the haunted house. So that we were just trying to keep the ghost at bay. But yeah, summer ball lodging is always different. We never did do the host families in Albany, but I was a little bit. I want to say one of the guys like married the daughter of one of his host families in Hornell, so that can happen to you also. Shout out to Kenny Folkers. But yeah, that's good. I'll see if I can clear out some room at the turnstile casa, and then those dudes can jump in the pool after the game or whatever. I can give them hitting tips that they don't. They're just like, don't listen to this guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But that's all good to go, gentlemen. I don't want to take up your whole day. You're out, Smokey Joe Williams. Dutch might have some inquiries, but I know we're both excited about getting out there.
I did just order. Well, my hat and my baseball tee is shipped, so it'll be here in a couple days. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to wear the gear. I saw it had a lot of cool hat designs, and like I love baseball tees. So when I saw that, I was like, yeah, I need that.
I'm always trying to.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh yeah.
I'm ready to rock that jersey. Yeah.
That sounds great. What's the press box situation? Does Smokey Joe have a press box, or am I gonna have to come out there with a plyboard and the nail gun?
Break down that door.
You guys are doing the Lord's. Go take.
That'll be a fun thing, like before like a wiffle ball
Take
night
some
or
hack.
something.
Yeah. As you can see, it's a lot of what we're doing is technology hurdles, and I actually not edited into that little sketch because I did get the audio of the whatever Little League field maintenance mower guy being a huge dick to us,
Yeah,
but
he
I
was like,
didn't put
"You
it
gotta
in there.
go."
I couldn't make it fit, but we were ejected from Little League facilities up here in San Antonio, and that's the way it goes. But you know, adapt and overcome, as they say. Well, that's. I mean, I'll let you boys go. We're gonna profile some of the players. We get off the horn with you guys. Let you get back to it. But Mr. Gelati, Mr. Barry, we appreciate everything you guys are doing out there, making Dutch and my dreams come true.
It's pretty cool to have a summer league team so close by. We can go watch.
Seguin's a great town, and shout out to Vogue Shoes. It's where I get all my footwear. That's crazy. All right, I don't know if this will ever happen, but Texas Lutheran has a connection to one of my personal heroes, Vern Lundquist. He is an alumni up there, and then my last job in Seguin, uh, one of our IT guys, his dad was like the football coach out there. There's like a deep connection with Texas Lutheran. Texas Lutheran has great athletics as well, but they do. Yeah, they are so good. They got some really good players. But yeah, Vern is a big supporter of the city of Seguin, and particularly, of course, his alumni, Texas Lutheran. He comes down, I think, almost every year for like an alumni event. But wouldn't that be awesome to get Vern down to the ballpark for a game? Let him call it in. Of course, he likes football, basketball better than he likes the baseball. He does the golf as well, but what a legend. tease names I have no ability of actually retaining. But anyway, it's fun to dream, and we'll let you guys go. And thank you. Oh, actually, I have one last question for Mr. Barry, because my understanding is you're in Florida, so you're just globetrotting to make this basement. You just got to Texas a few days ago. Nice. Are you what's the lodging for the globetrotting, Mr. Barry? You got an apartment there? Or you just crashing at Smokey Joe Williams? How's that working for the general manager? I see. The management. Okay. That's awesome. You guys are. I'll tell you what. You guys are amazing. All right. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you guys are taking care of each other and bringing baseball to the community. We couldn't be happier to partner with y'all. And have a good day. Hopefully, Smokey Joe Williams, everything's coming online. Text, call if you need anything from us. Oh, yes, Johnny's Barbecue. Get the fish. Everybody knows. All right, gentlemen. Have a good day. All right.
Have a good one.
Bye. Let's see here if we can get that. Yeah.
Hard to click.
What do you think, Dutch? Does that deserve some? We need like caller music.
Is that the?
Well, that's the intro.
Where
but I feel
it
like
works both ways.
I feel like that call went so good. You got to bump it out with. Technically, that's where we'd go to commercial. Buy your shoes at Vogue Shoes.
Go to your
Best
restroom real
footwear you
quick,
can
get
ever
some a drink, come back.
Yeah, I got a sausage sandwich sitting over here. I just like playing with the. Is that coming up on? It's just beautiful brass section on that mariachi stuff there. What do you think, bud? You psyched?
Yeah.
All kinds of great ideas. I forgot to mention the pigeons flying around with tickets.
We can, I think, like, if we buy some merch and then just give it away for free, like free giveaway night.
Yeah.
Not like everybody comes in and gets this, but like have a drawing or something, like a raffle, so like that'll bring money in.
Yeah.
We're gonna raffle off, and whoever wins gets a free shirt and hat or whatever, And after every home game win, shotgun and natty.
I think you're shotgunning a natty. I think I'm going to do a family package just so I have the 4 tickets always as technically as bribes. Like, so when I get pulled over, by Border Patrol and I'm slammed into the ground and I'm cuffed, dogs sniffing the car,
and I'm like being held back.
You're being held back.
I can't help you.
You're getting tased. You're probably like zip tied. And then they pull out this huge brick, of Japanese baseball cards. It's like, where'd you get this? It's not allowed. It's not allowed over the border. You got to declare Japanese Korean baseball cards.
And I was like, I didn't put that in there.
I don't know what that is. And they're like, boys are going away for a long, long time.
I didn't put that in my car.
I was like, I don't.
It was planted there. It's planted.
And I go, you know what? There's maybe if you there's a couple 4 Seguin River Monster tickets sitting there on the dashboard. Maybe instead you guys found those instead of that brick of Japanese baseball cards. And then, the Border Patrol guy starts thinking about it. He's like, yeah, maybe I did. Maybe I did find these 4 tickets instead of these illegal baseball cards. And next thing you know, we're off and free. They just cut those zip ties right off and
watch out for the warning. Take off.
That's right.
They'll come back through this town again. Little do they know.
Get yourself out of trouble, some of them river monsters. It's a hot ticket.
Little do they know, though, we're turning right around on the next exit and come back into town.
I got to keep the flow of Korean baseball cards and Japanese baseball cards into San Antonio, as I am the #1 underground dealer. I think that tech went good. The funny part is, for anybody watching on YouTube, like, let's say there's like one guy in.
My wife is watching.
Well, she's watching, but she's like, okay, I couldn't hear a effing thing.
That's what she said. Yeah, she
but our one German listener is like, okay, this is awesome. This is what I've been waiting for, this live stream. And then all of a sudden, it just goes silent. We're just like have a one-sided conversation. I can't hear a thing. But it's good now. Logitech. And it's probably not getting the bump music either. It would make sense. We had plug-in speakers for the bump music. But let's highlight a couple Seguin River Monsters and then roll into some UTSA Disrespect and their series win up in Tennessee. And I can't say the name of that town, but I think it's Murfreesboro.
Murfreesboro or some shit.
Murfreesboro, but they went up there, took 2 out of 3 because they're just knocking out these series wins. Most Def Malone and slamming Sammy Diaz, Mi Vida Loca, Johnny Tapia, just killing it. Just a great ball club. But here's what I noticed. I really liked, if you look at the innings, and if I could find you got the Islanders. I gotta find. Oh no. Where is? Oh, they got the Hillsborough College guys down there in Florida. I can't find. I got the Houston. Where's the Hillsborough? They got a great field. I think this is it right here. No. Well, if I remember it correctly, I'm just gonna go from memory, frankly. Oh, here's one we'll feature. This is what we need to talk about. Let's talk a little bit about Cade Brewer. Couldn't find your stats, bud, but I did find that you are a National Honor Society 4-year member, and I'd like to tip my cap
Smart dude.
to one of the catchers at the Seguin River Monsters because I was not a 4-year member of the National Honor Society. I think I rolled
You gotta
out.
get your shit together.
I think I rolled out of high school with a 2.1, 2 point. I'm not sure what it was. And funny thing about that, my sister told me later that she goes, I think you maybe didn't graduate high school. I was like, really? She goes, yeah, I think you had like an incomplete or something, but Dad was so pissed that they were gonna like mess up your baseball scholarships that he was like threatening to sue. God bless my dad, I love him, but he was a litigious man, and apparently the high school took that threat quite seriously, and I graduated from high school. What do you think of that? What do you think of those low expectations?
I think they were matched with. I mean, you were an athlete, so like school, I don't think was your focus.
Gotta go to Lassen Junior College. Shout out to the Cougs.
Go Cougars.
I'll tell you what. So yeah, Cade Brewer's a genius. That's one guy. But it was the Hillsborough guys, and I had all the stats pulled up. Yes, I did, but I can't find them right now. But I believe the River Monster by the name of Matthew Johnson. I have like 53. Like he's leading the team in innings. The guy's a workhorse down there. Guy's a workhorse.
That's my dude right there from Tampa.
Yeah, some of these guys, and then some of the other players, like I said, are redshirt freshmen. You don't really have a whole lot on them. So I'm looking at different numbers. Some of the players we got from Olu are some pretty good hitters too. I saw some good numbers in there. But trying to scrap together stats of a college summer baseball team when you got guys from like 15 different colleges is a little bit of an undertaking.
I started doing that last night
for organization.
And I got halfway in. I'm like done. I was like, fuck, I haven't done the pitchers yet. Like I was doing the infielders, I did the outfielders, and I got down to the pitchers. I'm like, I'm kind of tired. I kind of want to sleep.
I know you get worn out, but like one of the guys, like our outfield, I think it was Jose Gutierrez, was drafted by the Guardians, Clarendon College. But you go to Clarendon College, it's like I can't even find your stats, man. So it's a junior college, St. Mary's. This is St. Mary's guys. We have a handful of players from St. Mary's, and I'll show you the guy that I believe has pretty good numbers, but this is the best part of the podcast when we're looking on the internet. But our St. Mary's guy is Jacob Elizondo, sophomore. And now if I go to St. Mary's...
You're looking at the same person I am at the same time. Pull up the stats.
Yeah, trying to find Elizondo, but...
Because a lot of these guys are freshmen in college, so their stats aren't going to be
pitching.
there.
But, look, some of these... Jacob Elizondo's hitting 317. Okay.
But like I will say that
10 doubles.
Seguin won't sign anybody that's not a stud. So these are all studs.
These guys are great. They're all working on their game.
Yeah. That's what's cool about summer college leagues is they stay in shape, right?
Yeah, man. I remember, all
and it's
the
not
things
like
you're
they're
trying to
gonna
work on.
come in and half-ass it. They're gonna like play hard.
This is one thing I would say. I like that the leadership out there got those guys that gym access, because I think we had gym access too, and if I would be disingenuous if I didn't tell you that I drank a lot of beer in summer baseball.
I would have.
That was a big party. As a young man, you're away from the folks. You're with a bunch of dudes, and you're probably not married at this point, so you're looking for gals or whatever you're doing, and you want to win the game, and then you want to go out and you want to party. So my advice is, don't get in trouble. Keep it, keep it to a reasonable modicum. But the best time, if you remember, did you ever watch that? I forget, The Last Dance with Michael Jordan.
No, I haven't watched that documentary.
Okay, that's neither here nor there. But the one interesting thing about it was Dennis Rodman's kind of like lifestyle and workout regimen. And Jordan was essentially like, dude, I ain't got any problem with Rodman. Rodman wants to go party, show up in Vegas, whatever. Because he was doing this like in the middle of the season. Like he'd show up in the newspaper. He's like, it was like, didn't you play in Detroit last night? How are you in Vegas the next day? But whatever his schedule was, he was always there for the game, and he always played his ass off. And the reason he played his ass off because as soon as the game was over, he would go hit the gym for another hour of cardio and lifting weights. So like everybody else after the game, showering, getting ready to go home, he's like, I'm just gonna, like, an NBA game is hard enough for cardio. I'm just gonna add more cardio and work out some more, right back to back with the game. So it was like that dude was in such amazing condition. He's like, well, now I can party because conditioning's not going to be an issue for me because I can just go forever. So that was like Rodman's schedule. And for these dudes, lifting weights tightens up the muscles. So really the best time to get your reps in is after the game. I'm going to lift before the game. It'll F up all your coordination. So go eat your protein, River Monsters. Go jack some steel if the gym is open late.
Eat some Wheaties.
And then, I'm sure there'll be team parties.
Can't forget the Wheaties.
You can't ignore that part of the lifestyle. Just don't get into trouble, boys.
Speaking of being drinking and playing sports, friends and I, we used to drink beer and play football at this park where I used to live close by.
Would anybody ever throw up if you get like a perfect form tackle?
There was sometimes where like I'd be running and I'd be all out of breath. I go drink a beer. I'm like, I probably shouldn't be doing this, but I'm thirsty.
All right, I gotta share a story.
What's that?
Now I got these random stories.
You have tons of them.
Okay,
yeah.
This is what This is what this story made me think of. So,
my story?
No, yeah, your story.
Oh, about the playing.
Drinking beer and playing football.
Okay.
And I don't know how this worked, but I mentioned this one time to a buddy of mine. He goes, that's absolutely true. So Pacific Northwest, it's always rainy, it's always wet. And when you're in middle school or whatever, I don't know where we got in town, if it was just like riding bikes over to some other neighborhood, and all the kids would get together and we would play football. And usually it was one of those like foam Nerf footballs. And invariably it was just some park, like grass field that wasn't really a field. And everything's wet. There's a lot of leaves. And a lot of dudes had, of course, Seattle, got sweatpants. And it was always somebody with the blue Seahawks sweatpants who would get tackled into dog shit. And then they'd get up, you play a couple more downs before everybody starts smelling it. And you're like, dude, I think you got tackled into dog shit. And then the person who gets tackled into dog shit initially never wants to beleave it's true. They're like, no, dude, that's just mud.
It's dirt.
Yeah, it's like, no, dude, that's just mud. And then, a couple people start like trying to get away. It's like, no, bro, you gotta go home, man. That's dog shit. And then the realization that they have to go home to change their pants and they're out of the game because they got tackled into dog shit in their Seahawks sweatpants happened every single time I ever played park football with my buddies as a kid. And I don't know if Jacobson's listening, but I want to say I remember Casey Piercy got tackled into dog shit. I could be wrong. Anyway.
I've stepped in dog shit almost every day of my life.
Do you guys have dogs?
No, because what it was like at this, well, not my house, but at the park. Going back to that story, it's like an open park, so there was dogs everywhere. But in my house in Dallas, we had at one point had 4 dogs. So, but also I was trying to say that stepping in dog shit every day is a metaphor about how I feel about life. Every day something comes up and you're just stepping in shit.
That's true.
I'd
rather step in than get tackled in it, but it was never on your elbow or arm. It was always a perfect smear like somewhere on the back thigh of
On your
the,
leg.
of the. They had to be kind of like baby blue or blue Seahawks sweatpants every frickin' time.
I'd often get it on my leg sometimes.
I tell you, tackled into dog shit. It's classic.
The worst
Pacific
though is when you
Northwest
step in it,
activity.
you have no idea. You start walking around, you're like, it kind of smells like shit here.
That's
And then you look down on your shoe and you realize you just
you're
traipsed
screwed.
dog shit throughout
You're
the whole
screwed.
house.
Yeah,
You're
it
like,
is.
Fuck.
It's like I don't know. Like you always played like 2 or 3 more downs. Like you noticed it, like because we were getting all muddy anyway. But you're like that one looks a little bit more kind of orangey. That mud looks a little bit more orangey and it's starting to stink. I think maybe you got tackled into dog shit. So here's UTSA at Middle Tennessee. And I can't remember if that's where Terrell Owens went, but he went to one of those.
I think he went to Chattanooga.
Did he? Yeah, I think
so.
maybe you're right. He went to Chattanooga, Tennessee. But at Middle Tennessee, which is Conference USA conference game, UTSA takes first game Friday, 13-2, handily. Second game 12-4. And I was watching this on Twitter. I was like, man, they're just taking it to Middle Tennessee. They're about to sweep this series. They lose 1-2. The box score for Sunday, if I'm looking at it. I mean, the pitcher here from Middle Tennessee, Jaden Ham, goes 7 innings of 0-run ball. That's
wild.
If you're shutting down the UTSA lineup, Tapia still goes 2 for 4. If you're shutting down the UTSA lineup, that's just a good pitching performance, and you got to tip your cap there.
Plus, they didn't want to get blown out again, 12-4. So they're like, fuck this.
Yeah, but
they'll play a lot better.
If you can go back and look to the 12th, because I think Malone went. He normally goes on Friday, but I think they put him on Saturday, and Malone goes 6 2/3, a 3-run ball, only 1 walk, 5 Ks, and I think he gets another W. So Malone is 7-1.
Once again, Ian Bailey had a great game.
Ian Bailey is
he went
the 12 ding dongs.
He went 3 for 6 that game.
I think he had a homer that game too. He's up at 11. Bailey's having a great season. What a pickup.
Yeah.
Who else?
Because I feel like this dude, like every game, like the stats we look up, he's always batting like 500 or something.
That's interesting. So Josh Kleen caught that game. He caught that game with Luke Malone, and I was trying to get Mostef Malone and Sammy Diaz on some NIL contract interviews, just because I think that'd be interesting interesting conversation to have with the pitcher and catcher and that dynamic. But Sammy Diaz was DH in that game, so Killeen catching with Luke Malone. But interesting to talk to those guys. But it's finals week, right? So they're just like us. They're just like getting slammed with stuff. He's like, not a good week. I totally get it. Respect what you guys are doing. And then, but yeah, look at that game. Josh Killeen, the catcher, comes in, goes 4 for 5 with 4 bibbies. Isaiah Walker's playing center. That guy can play. 2 for 3, 2 runs, slamming Sammy Diaz. 2 for 6. I think Diaz hit a homer too. We get there. Bailey, Killeen hit a dinger. Queen's got 3 dingers. Let's go back to Friday's game. Completely wrap it up, and then I'll talk about why in tarnation are these guys ranked 47th by somebody. It's just disrespectful.
Is it though?
I think so. I think you got to call everything disrespect. Just motivate yourself.
Oh yeah, of course. You're always going to feel like you should be ranked higher than you are. But, I mean, they're good. They've only their record overall is 30 and 14. So it's not like they're barely over 500. They're like.
Nah, I mean UTSA.
They got a 68% winning percentage. So I mean.
Yeah, UTSA is. Ball club for sure. I think.
And it's crazy
I
too
think
that
based on because they beat Stanford earlier in the year. Look at the schedule.
You know what's crazy too is people that I know that go there. I try to talk about baseball with them. Like, oh, I had no idea we had a good team. It's like, do you not pay attention to your sports?
I mean, so you beat number 7 Texas State. That's 7th ranked team. You beat them at home. You split with them, and then you played them. You beat supposedly number 2 out of 3, number 29 Old Dominion. You swept number 23 Charlotte. You beat number 11 TCU. I mean, these are the rankings at the time. Okay, and let me go back to number 2 Stanford. In 10 innings, you win. I mean, that's number 14 that got postponed. But I mean that's a pretty good. Let's go your record against ranked teams. Let's go here to the Stanford game. What happened to that? 1-0. Then number 23 Charlotte comes in, sweep them. You're 4-0 against ranked teams. Play number 29, or at least nationally ranked. So now you're 6-1 against ranked teams. Then you drop one to Texas State. You're 6-2. And Texas State comes back down. They're 7th in the nation. You're 7-2 against top 30 teams, and you're 47th in the nation. Explain that one.
It's just like college football. They always look at the quality of win versus total wins.
Well, they got some good quality wins, so I think they're getting whoever that guy is making that college website needs to, wake up.
Because they do that in college
smell the
football all
coffee
the
on that
time.
one.
Like they'll have a team, like say a team has 2 losses, they'll be ranked higher than a team with no losses because the team that has no losses has played shittier competition, which makes no sense.
Makes no sense. But
I'm sure that's what they're looking at here is like maybe like the competition.
Man, that's good competition though, right?
Well, I mean, you play Stanford,
Texas State. All right, let's look at numbers here. Big Nasty Serdashny hitting 357. And you got Leighton Berry hitting 346. Slammin' Sammy 333. Chase Kang's hitting 315. Ian Bailey 314 with 11 ding-a-dings. Look at Chase Kang with 47 bibs, leading the team in bibbies. Tapia's having a great year, really is. Leading the team at doubles with 5 homers. His on base is great. Look at Chase King. Oh no, it's slugging. Where's the highest on base? It's got to be. You got Sammy Diaz 439, 479. Big Nasty Serdashny. Poston's over 300 now. Look at his base on balls. 26. Poston. Poston's getting on base.
Luke Malone is as of April 1st is 7-1.
7-1.
Or May 1st, I'm sorry, as of May 1st.
Sub 2 ERA. Craziest thing about Malone's stats is his base on balls.
I'm shocked that he's not talked about more, like in baseball teams.
There was a cool I think it was like Texas College Baseball posted like they made a baseball card of Luke Malone. He was like maybe like
I saw that.
Yeah. But I mean, 63 innings pitched, 11 base on balls is insanely good control. So anyway, I'm just gonna keep promoting those guys and the River Monsters, and now we can talk before because we didn't even tease the music. We didn't even tease the music. Right? What do we got? Where's our time limit? We're killing it. An hour and 50, buddy. We can start talking UFOs, or we could talk the real life legend of the accounts of the actual Seguin River Monster. And what happened to me one time when I was out there.
What happened? Never been to Seguin, actually.
Seguin's great. Guadalupe River goes right through there.
Yeah, I saw that.
There's plenty of swimming holes. Are you familiar with the Loch Ness Monster?
Yes, that big ass fucking creature thing.
That looks like, some people believe that it is, like a prehistoric dinosaur swimming around down there. The Seguin River Monster, and you've seen the logo of the fish. The Seguin River Monster is basically, I would say, I believe it to be a Komodo dragon that has been released into the Guadalupe River between a couple dam checkpoints and has grown to a certain size and become aquatic and now just eats people.
I saw this picture when I typed in Seguin River Monster to look up research, and it was like giant ass fucking snake.
Oh, well, there's plenty of big water.
It must have been like, I don't know, like 25 feet or something. It was like huge.
So if I'm doing a cannonball after a home win down there at Starkey Park, that just means I'm fearless and balls of steel because I could be eaten at any minute.
But those river monsters aren't going to hurt you anyway.
You don't think?
They'll just swim by you. Yeah, I'm positive. I'm like 99% positive.
Let's see here. The other thing I would like to look at is the Conference USA statistics because the way the NCAA tournament, because the postseason, college postseason is nigh. It is upon us, and if you look at the Conference USA baseball statistics, we'll be able to take a look at, because you get an automatic, just like hoops, you get an automatic bid, you win the conference
Yeah.
in the postseason. But then there's like the seeding, Conference USA baseball, and we kind of take a look at the standings here, and you got Southern Miss is on top. Actually, it's 17-4 in conference play. UTSA and La Tech are tied for second at 14-7, and you got Charlotte, Western Kentucky, Rice, Marshall, UAB, Charlotte, FIU, Middle Tennessee. We just got done with that series. So, I mean, at large bid for a team like UTSA is going to happen. You just got to come out. You got to be the team that wins your regional, so you can go to the super regionals, and then on to Omaha. But I'm not exactly sure when.
Because UTSA is only 3 games back of the conference lead, so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
They're right there.
Yeah, they're there. I don't know if you necessarily have to sweat. I think they're a postseason. I think they're a postseason team. But we got how many games left?
I didn't realize that Louisiana Tech had a good team either.
Louisiana Tech's been pretty good at sports for quite some time, my recollection. So you got University of Texas, Rio Grande, and then you got 3 at Marshall. That's conference, and then 3 in Hattiesburg. That'll be a big series because that might play out who wins Conference USA in the middle of May when UTSA goes down there. So you got some big conference games coming up with Marshall and Southern Miss, and then UAB. So it's basically 9 conference games. You got 10 games left in the season. 9 of them are conference. 9 conference games, and then just like a midweek with UTEX Rio Grande on a Tuesday. So it'll be interesting. Watch what comes down with UTSA, and then you get right into the postseason at the end of May. Everybody should be done with classes. It's summer baseball or postseason. Let's see how UAB is, because I believe. Go back to the rankings. I think we used to play UAB because it was like Sun Belt. Everybody always moved around. South Alabama was Sun Belt when we played UAB. But UAB's 500 ball club.
So is like,
or at least conference 500. They're a winning ball club. Good baseball in the USA Conference.
Marshall used to be in the MAC. I don't know if that's still a
yeah, they're always moving it around. But that's college baseball. Road to Omaha. I don't know if we'll ever get up to college roasters, but man, that's a good time to eat some funnel cakes.
I've also decided, speaking of college baseball, I've also decided to adopt a team.
Well, you're a Texas State man.
Yeah.
Well, you just root Texas generally, but.
I decided I've had a random liking to the Ole Miss baseball for some reason.
Ole Miss runner Rebs.
I was watching their game at work on break, right? I was like, interesting. This is cool.
They got a cool ballpark.
Yeah.
There. I actually took a recruiting trip to Ole Miss.
I think it'd be cool. So that'll be one of the teams I'll root for in baseball is Ole Miss.
SEC. Great baseball.
I'm calling it right here.
Yep.
Not my favorite team, but they're out there now. So.
Yeah, they're good. I'm trying to remember how that recruiting trip went. So my junior college coach.
They said you're too good to come here. Go somewhere else. Be better off.
So my junior college coach at Lassen in California was really a great coach, and he himself was a recruit. When you're like looking at who's going to be your next Division I coach, he was given a lot of job offers by Division I. And the way Coach Abney thought is, look, I want to win a national championship, and to do that, the SEC, Southeastern Conference, was at that time, and I believe still probably considered the best baseball conference. So he was kind of waiting for a job offer from the SEC to come in. He was the fastest coach in California junior college history to win like 300 games or something crazy. Like the dude was way hard on you, but you were good. So they said, okay, you're going to Ole Miss next year. So my freshman year, you usually get recruited your sophomore year. So like, where are you going to go when you're a junior? Where are you going to go next year? So they flew me and a guy down, this pitcher, kind of a middle relief guy who was just unhittable, this sidearm guy, Petra. We almost missed the plane. We changed planes.
For your recruiting trip?
Yeah, so we flew to Susanville. You fly out of Reno, and to get to Oxford, Mississippi, you had to, somehow we changed planes. We went from Reno to like Minneapolis, and Minneapolis to Memphis. And then like somebody was going to like pick us up and take us down to Oxford or however that went. and there's the time change. We're dumb kids, so we go from whatever Pacific time to Central time in Minneapolis. And we're sitting there playing Miss Pac-Man, I believe. I think it was Miss Pac-Man or Donkey Kong. Completely oblivious to the hour time change, and then we hear over the speakers our names like last call, we're closing the doors, and we're like, oh shit, that's our plane. So we actually almost missed the plane. We made it down there, and it was great. We just partied and drank, a bunch of Old Miss players. I will say this about the recruiting trip. I got like had a great time, partied and drank. I committed, said I'm coming, because I was under the belief that it was a full tuition scholarship, which is what you need as an outfielder. And then whatever, I had to call, I think like the main ones were like Texas Tech and Western Kentucky was also recruiting. I go, I'm going to Ole Miss, so I think you guys need to know that, so you're not like holding on to scholarships for me when I'm going here. And they're like, okay, cool, thanks for letting us know. And they signed a couple other outfielders, those colleges, and then I come to find out they're like, yeah, dude, you're not getting a full tuition scholarship. You're only getting in-state. Well, out-of-state tuition's freaking expensive. So I was like, well, shit, I can't go there now because I can't do out-of-state tuition. I can't pay that.
You still live in Seattle at this time, right?
No, I was playing junior college in Northern California at this time.
Oh, so you're in California.
So I was a JUCO guy. So then, because the deal changed, I couldn't go to Ole Miss after I verbally committed and turned off all these other schools, and then I didn't have any fucking scholarship offers. So I went to Schenectady summer baseball with now I had nowhere to go for my junior year, and at the very last second I got on with the University of South Alabama, the Jaguars hooked me up, and then I went out down there and flamed out.
Why do you say that?
D1. Well, you come in, you're like some sort of hot shit JUCO All-American or whatever. They think you're going to be the world beater, and I was mediocre at best, and I had some issues in the outfield with errors. I was kind of a head case at that point, and then I guess I didn't hit that. I was like hit over 300, but I didn't have the season I wanted to have. And they go, dude, you can come back your senior year on the same scholarship deal. They were cool. I tip my cap. Oh my god, my thing broke.
You're breaking equipment.
I don't even know how that works, but Coach Kittrell goes.
Now you just gotta hold the whole mic.
I've been trying to screw it together this whole time. It's just like the threads don't work. But Coach Kittrell was like, "Hey, you can come back on the same scholarship deal, but I'm just letting you know we're bringing in a dude who's pretty awesome, and you're going to really have to compete for. We got a lot of good outfielders here. A lot of dudes are probably getting drafted. You really have to compete for that starting outfield spot next year, your senior year, and you might want to go somewhere where you're going to get a lot of playing time, so you get a look if you ever think you're going to get drafted." I was like, all right, thanks, Coach. Appreciate the honesty. So called around, ended up landing at Lubbock Christian for my senior year. But guess who they brought in? The guy they were talking about.
Who's that?
And yes, I wouldn't have started over this guy. A young man by the name of Juan Pierre, who went on to a very long Major League Baseball career. He set some kind of like junior college record for stolen bases in Alabama, and then went to University of South Alabama. Went on, so I probably was like the 17th best outfielder. There's so many good athletes.
I remember him on the
South
Marlins.
Alabama. Yeah,
he played for the Miami.
He was a great leadoff man. He could bunt, he could run, he could do it
fast.
all. Great guy. So yeah.
You always say those pants hiked up.
Grateful for my time at South Alabama, but I was definitely a head case my 1 year in Division I. But the cool thing about D1 was I got to play against some pretty amazing guys, because that's where I saw Nakamura, who went on to the Japanese leagues fame.
Who also played, I believe, for the Rays. He was like a shortstop.
No, Mike Nakamura was a pitcher.
Oh, I'm thinking of the other guy. I think his name was Aki Nakamura or something. Some weird.
Nakamura was that guy I was telling you about who was Australian, but he was 100% full-blooded Japanese guy. Like his dad moved from Japan to Australia and opened up like a sporting goods store or something. So both his parents were Japanese. He's full-blooded Japanese dude, but he talked like Crocodile Dundee. Blew your frickin' mind.
So it's not a Noff?
Yeah, he talked exactly like that, and he was on the Australian Olympic team for the Atlanta Olympics, and then he got signed a huge free agent deal with the Twins. Actually made it to the show, got totally rocked. Like he got totally rocked, like in his like half Major League Baseball season. He got released and then picked up in the NPB and played in Japan. I think he set some kind of like Japanese World Series record for saves. He was like a crazy, insane closer a couple years with the Yomiuri Giants.
Yeah, see, I'm thinking of Akinori, or what's his, Amamura, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
The guy from Tampa Bay. I thought it was that guy. Or something. I can't pronounce his name too well, but that's what I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, no, D1, that was the cool part about South Alabama. You got to play with these dudes like Naki, and then Mike Fisher was the first pick of the second round. He really came on. He was a really good pitcher for South Alabama. Rayborn was drafted. Terrell Demon Deason. I don't know, man. There's some good dudes on that team, and I wasn't one of them. So.
Did you ever when you realized were gonna get drafted? Did you ever try to go to tryouts and stuff?
I did. So my pro career as recorded by Baseball Reference was I didn't get drafted, and then I went up to Canada to visit my girlfriend at the time for a couple of weeks and eat Tim Horton donuts, and then when I came back to Lubbock, I was like, well, shit, I don't have eligibility. I better do something. I think I was applying to get jobs at Barnes and Nobles because I like books. I was like, maybe I'll get discounts on books, and I went up to the field. And my coach was up there, Darren Hayes from Lubbock Christian. He's like, "Hey, dude, where have you been?" And I was in Canada. He goes, "Well, go down to the ballpark. They need an outfielder for a 3-game set in Mississippi, or 4-game set in Mississippi against the Greensville Bluesmen." And he goes, "I told the coach about you. I told him I got an outfielder who's just sitting around doing nothing. And if you need an outfielder, this dude can catch a fly ball." So, because I did pretty good at Lubbock Christian. It was a totally different. A totally different headspace for me than South Alabama. I had a good year. I think I might have been all conference. I was an NAIA All-American, which is different, but I had a good year. So anyway, I go down to the stadium, much like Smokey Joe Williams Stadium, but they played at Texas Tech's ballpark. The Lubbock Crickets did. Manager's there. He's like, "All right, here's the deal. We're going to Greensville for 4 games. I'm gonna sign you below league minimum, which was fucking league minimum was $600 a month. He goes, I'm going to sign you for $500 a month. You're going to go play 4 games, come back. I'm going to release you, and then you can go work at McDonald's or whatever you're going to do." I think his name was Nick Lowry. He was a cool guy. He was a player manager.
Made a little bit of money, I guess.
Well, I was like, shit, I'm not doing anything this week. You know, I'm sitting around
paycheck,
playing PlayStation or whatever. So hell yeah, play professional baseball. So paid to play. I mean, I can just brag about it now.
What team was that?
It was the Lubbock Crickets.
Lubbock Crickets.
And so there was some.
Was Buddy Holly the manager?
Buddy Holly. Well, that's why they were doing that, because he's.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking.
He's from Lubbock, so that's
Buddy Holly and the Crickets.
Yeah, it's they're from Lubbock, so that's Lubbock's one of their claim to fames anyway. That Buddy Holly was from there. He's this great rocker. So we were the Lubbock Crickets, but we did a silly little cricket on our hats. We had a pretty lame uniform, so I think anybody would
Sometimes
agree.
I feel like teams don't have an idea what the name of the team takes to go around. Okay, we're the New Jersey carpet thingies.
You know, they got the Trash Pandas, and they're coming
That's
up with
cool
fun
though.
stuff.
That's cool though.
But yeah, they went local. They went with local lore. So we were the Lubbock Crickets. So we go to Greensville, and here's what I'll say about the Greensville Bluesman Stadium.
What's that?
Awful.
Why
It was
that?
unbelievable experience. First of all, there's so many mosquitoes at whatever fucking stadium that was, and I found it on Google Maps one time, and I could find it on Google Maps because there's a goddamn drag racing stick.
You can find
strip.
anything on Google Maps.
Yeah,
anything.
but there was number of baseball fields in that town. There's a drag racing, cars drag racing off the corner of right field. And then there were so many mosquitoes that they would have a truck drive around the field every 3 innings and spray mosquito poison mist into the sky, which really only just made them mad.
That's
Then
terrible.
they just started flying. It was so bad. It was.
That's real tacky too.
Well, it was the Greensville Blues series was unbelievable. I think I hit okay. I made a couple of decent plays in the outfield, and I absolutely hosed the guy at the plate by 4 or 5 steps. He was on second. He was trying to score on a single, and I just came up gunning from right and just on a hop, absolutely dead to rights by 4 steps. Except the catcher was too fast trying to grab the ball and swipe the tag, and so he pulled off, and it bounced off the lips of his catcher mitt, and the catcher dropped the ball. So the runner was starting to run back to third because he was so out. He's breaking down his stride. He's I'm not even going to try to score. I'm going to go back to third, and then the catcher muffed it, and then the dude's oh, I'll just walk home. But as I was getting on the
Oh,
bus, this is such a great moment in my life.
They do have your stats on here.
Yeah.
1998.
That's right. And it's got my pitch. It's got my pitching stats on there too.
Cause like I know like your middle name is Ernie, so I was like, did he go by his first name or his middle name? And I typed in your first name.
Yeah,
and
they didn't spell it right. There's so many random stories. I kind of want to write a short story about my summer with the Crickets
I
because.
was looking at your pitching stats. I'm not laughing because you said you were an okay pitcher, right?
No. But that I can explain that. I can explain my 18.
Yeah, I was like, holy, 18 ERA, that's high, buddy.
I pitched one inning and gave up a 2-run homer, but it was like
ERA sometimes misleading though.
well, no, I mean I was an outfielder, so it was a blowout, and we didn't want to use
Oh,
our
I
pitching
see. Here we go.
staff.
Yeah, innings pitched 1, ERA 2.
So, but
It's not bad.
I'm getting back on the bus after the Greensville series. Oh, and the other thing random about the Greensville series is every like the third, let's say like between the third and the fourth, and between like the sixth.
Hey, you had 2 RBIs.
If you would have asked me after like my first 6 games, I was hitting like 356, and then I couldn't hit the rest of the year. But they had the Laker girls dancing in Greensville, Mississippi, between like the third and fourth inning, and then like the sixth, whatever. They would come out on the infield grass, and then dance around with their like Laker girls routine, and then take off. And then we were staying in some shithole Ramada, and the Laker girls were also in that hotel, and we were like, of course, we're gonna talk to the Laker girls, right? We're like, this can't be the actual Laker girls. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's LA. That's like prime time. What are you doing? And we talked to them, and it was like the minor leagues of the Laker girls. It wasn't even like when it wasn't even Double A minor. I think the Laker girls had like 3 tiers. There's like the ones you see at the NBA game, and there's like a travel squad, and then there's like the rookie league Laker girls, and I think the rookie league Laker girls were dancing in the Texas League. That was a mind blower. But so anyway, I get on the bus, and Coach Lowry sits right in that front seat there and goes, you know what, Granville, you're not so bad. I think I'm just going to keep you around. So I was so psyched on the 21-hour drive back to Lubbock. I was like, sweet, I got a job this summer. I got to hang out with these guys. So I would. I just go to the park, play some Donkey Kong in the Texas Tech clubhouse, make a peanut butter jelly sandwich, take some batting practice, and then like go in as a pinch runner in the 7th inning. That was my pro career. But yeah, that the ERA came from.
It was like 18, but it didn't make sense because it didn't show like your stats. It shows 1 inning pitched and
it was
2
like
runs.
We're playing. I want to say it's the Rio Grande Valley was like the White Wings. It was a weird name, but the Rio Grande Valley White Wings was in the Texas Law League, and it was a huge blowout. We're losing by like 15 runs. So coach is like, I don't want to fucking use up pitchers. Who here wants to throw an inning? They're like, Granville, did you pitch? I was like, well, I pitched in high school, but that was like, 4 or 5 years ago. They're like, all right, we'll go get warm, see if you can still roll over the curveball. So I mean, I fucking probably throw 75, 80 miles an hour, whatever, with a high school curveball. So I'm warming up. I'm all pumped, and I go in, and you got to understand the Texas Law League was a smattering of dudes. You had guys like me that were out of college, but you also had dudes that were like released from AAA. Like there were some really good players in that league, and the Rio Grande, and I'll have to look it up later. Rio Grande Valley White Wings center fielder was awesome. I think he was AAA with the Astros, and the only reason he was in that league is maybe he had it in his head that he was so awesome that he should be in Major League Baseball, and he had an attitude problem. And I think the rumor I heard, I don't know if it's true or not because I never met the guy, is he got released for just being a head case, like an attitude problem. But he was awesome, and he would, as a center fielder, like he'd hit homers and all this stuff, but he had a cannon for an arm, and he would like tease you from center, like go try to run to third. Like he wouldn't throw it in, he would throw it in the infield. Like there's outfielders like get the ball in. He's like, no, dude, go. I dare you to go to third. Like he would just like he would pick up a single and be like, if there's like runners advancing, like rounding second, he's like, no, go. Like he was that, and like if you did, he'd throw a laser beam and you'd be out. Like he'd just tease you, but he'd also crush homers. So I think I like got a couple outs on some ground balls, and then I like walked the guy, I walked that guy. I was like, I'm just not going to throw him a strike. And he knew. I was like, I'm not throwing you anything near the fucking plate because you're going to hit it a mile.
Yeah.
So I was just throwing like curveballs like 2 feet off a plate. And he was pissed. Like he was like in the batter's box, like staring me down angry. He's like, you're such a puss. You're not throwing me. I was like, no, because I don't want to give him a fucking homer.
Yeah.
And so then
Call
like,
me what you want.
and it's not like the next batter was shitty either because he's probably like the 5-hole or 4-hole guy who's backing that guy up. And so I was just trying to keep everything off the plate. And that was kind of a porch, but it was like he didn't care if I was throwing it outside. He just flicked an opposite field home run. So the guy that I walked, who was the awesome center fielder, and that guy, 2-run dinger.
I love it when batters get pissed that you're not pitching to him. It's like, what do you expect?
I wasn't gonna.
Fuck you,
I wasn't
dude.
gonna get anywhere near the plate. But anyway, so it was 2-run dinger, and I think I got like ground ball and got out of it. So that's my 18 earned run average. And then I was just like a utility guy.
Hey, at
for
least
the
it wasn't
Crickets.
20.
But hey, I got paid to play. Oh,
Yeah.
and the
So
other.
technically, you were a professional
I'm
baseball
a
player.
professional baseball player, and I have my one bragging right. So they did all kinds of funny stuff in the independent leagues where they would just like bring in a pitcher, sign him to a contract, and he'd throw in that game that day for like 3 innings, and then they'd release him. Like I don't know where these dudes are traveling from or how management was finding them, but you had guys that were just like in and out of the clubhouse for like a day or two, a game or two, and then they were gone. And so I go to the field one day, Coach Lowry goes, "Hey dude, I'm releasing you, but I'm releasing you for the next 2 games, but still come to the ballpark, throw on a uniform, take batting practice and stuff. I'm signing a pitcher, and we have these roster rules. So I'm just signing this guy for these 2 games. We're going to use him for 2 games, then we're going to release him, and then we're going to re-sign you." I was like, all right, that's cool. So I just showed up at the ballpark for 2 days, warmed up the right fielder, took batting practice, but I wasn't technically on the roster. So then the pitcher pitches a couple games, they release him, and then they have to turn their contracts into the league. So he's got the form contract, which is a fill in the blank contract, to re-sign me. And I go, he's like, how much were we paying you, Granville?
$1,000.
I go, well, technically you're paying me 100 below league minimum, which was 500 a month, but there's only like 3 weeks left in the season, so it would be cool if I could make the league minimum, which was $600 a month. And he just goes, fucking killing me. And he filled in 600. I was so pumped. I was like, yes. So then I called my buddy. I go, dude, I renegotiated my contract.
Oh shit. So I tell people, yeah, Ernie played technically professional baseball.
Technically professional baseball. Tex Lally was, and my only claim to fame was I hit a bases loaded double off the guy who was like going to be on Letterman's show for throwing a perfect game after being, traded for 10,000 pounds of catfish. But that guy was a pretty good pitcher. But that was like maybe my best hit. But I just didn't play that much, and like I couldn't even get a bat. Like I was hitting with a broken bat most of the time. I had like a little crack under the label. Only the starters got the good bats. But that's my story.
You got the half broken bat.
There's so many stories. Well, it was funny. So they take so they have all these bat boxes. I think it's like 6-wood bats to a box. They just take them and dump them out all over the clubhouse floor. And then like all the dudes are walking around picking up, like shaking them, testing them out. Like I like this one, I like that one. All these veterans are like picking up a bat, and every time I picked up a bat, I was like, oh, this is a good one. Some like veteran, like Ray DeLeon, he like played with the Dodgers organization. He's like, oh, that is a nice bat. And just grab it out of my hand. I go, all right, well, I'm not gonna argue with Ray. He's a vet, so I go pick out another bat, and then like some other vet comes up. He's like, hey, you don't play, dude. You don't need that bat. I like this bat. And so I pick up like 3 or 4 bats, and dudes were just like taking them. I was like, dude, you don't play. And so I don't really have a bat. And then like Eric Benavidez, nicest guy ever. He also went to Lubbock Christian. He's like, dude, you ain't got a bat? I was like, well, I like got the crappy team bat. And he's like, oh, here's one I got. It's got some
The
decent
generic
wood.
bat.
But then it's like he's like, it hits good, but it's got a little crack under the label. I was like, all right, well, I'll fucking take any bat I can get because nobody's letting me use their shit. So I hit like a bases load. I was probably like, if that bat wasn't broken, maybe I do hit a grand slam, and I'd have made tons of money because then they pass the bucket around the stands, and all the fans throw a fucking dollar in there. I'd have made my entire salary in one night if I had like another foot of power on the double off the wall. Anyway, I digress. Many baseball stories I can just run up the hot air roll. But you tell me, bud, on your roadmap and on your notes what I'm not covering.
No, my notes were exactly like your notes were, Because I just looked at your text message about what you wanted to talk about, and I just copied that, and I just took notes. So I didn't have anything extra that I was going to talk about. So,
What do you think of promos? Let's Dutch chat here. What you think on the promos?
For Seguin,
Yeah.
obviously free merch giveaways. We'll have a raffle.
Raffles?
Like, you put in $1, something like that, and if you win, you get a free merchandise.
You know how they do the thing where like a certain player, if he hits a double, then you get a burger?
Those kind of things? Yeah. Like, if you hit a home run, a certain section gets free food. Those things are always cool. Section row 7, seat 9, free Taco Bell.
What about, you know how they do the, like the hide the ball or the hide the french fries admissions game, and it's like a little shell game?
On the screen, yeah.
Yeah, what if we actually had our little plastic table and we had the solo cups and we were doing the three cup Monty or 3-card Monty and just shuffling around a ball?
Find the river monster.
Find the river monster.
Which lake is it in?
And I'm just like shuffling around 3 solo cups to see if somebody can pick. Put that out there. I don't know. Just spitballing, bud.
It'd be real cool if you had like a fishing pole with a magnet on it, and you had a magnet on like $100 bill, and if you're able to catch it, you get $100.
Oh, that's a great idea.
If you can like reel it in, you get like $100.
That's a great idea. You got to do something with
because
with a fishing pole.
Yeah, because it's a river monster, and people like to fish in Seguin, right?
Oh,
in the
yeah,
rivers.
definitely.
And so like you have like maybe you stand on home plate, and you have the $100 bill maybe on second, and you like throw it out and you try to get on the magnet.
Oh, you're a genius, buddy.
But you only get, it's like a crane game, right? Where you have to try to catch it. But the thing is, you get one toss.
Man, you're a genius, buddy.
So you're like, okay, the one flip or whatever the fuck you call it. I don't fish.
Yeah,
I don't
we're
know.
gonna have some kind of casting game,
Yeah.
something.
And then if you win, you get $100, and you get like maybe something else. I don't know, but you know what I mean? That'd be kind of fun.
That's a great idea. Because really, what you want, I think, for these kind of games, the minor league games, is between the innings, right?
It's called the $100 toss.
Yeah, you got these little promos between the innings for fun. Let the kids run around the bases, catch a fly ball,
They had
cast the
we'll
fishing rod.
We'll have to do some kind of chugging thing like the admissions.
Oh yeah, you do the chugging.
I was in it.
I saw you. Did you win? You
No.
didn't look like you won.
No, I didn't win because I'm not a chugger.
Chug some coffee.
But it was fun as hell though. Because I was there before. I always get like an hour early just to like walk around and go to the shop and stuff. And one of the guys in charge of the promotion is like, "Hey man, you wanna do this?" I was like, "Fucking absolutely." I didn't care what I won. I didn't care. I just like, "Oh yeah, sounds fun." Because that was always something I've always wanted to do, was the Bill Miller tea chug. So
that's awesome, buddy.
When they chose me, I was like, sweet.
That's good stuff, man. I like it. I think
I didn't win, but I got a free cup of tea out of it. So
there you go, man. Well, we'll have all kinds of promotions for them.
We'll have to do something like that. We'll have to find out what restaurant is popular there, and then do something with the restaurant.
Yeah, that's some good stuff.
Like maybe who can eat the most. I don't know, something. You know what I mean?
There's a new barbecue place. I maintain the best barbecue in Seguin's actually the HEB. They have one of those barbecue places, Real Texas Barbecue.
Is that the Flaming Bird or something like that?
No, I don't know. It's just called Real Texas Barbecue, and not all HEBs have that barbecue place, but Seguin's HEB has one. And, that is some good barbecue, man. I'm not lying. Well, let's get into the musical reviews, because I'm always loving to see what you came with, and then
you want to plug in the thing real quick?
Yeah, let's plug in your thing.
So I was sitting last night, and I was like, because I have so many bands to talk about.
Yep.
I'll give this to you, that way you can just like make sure you don't play it too long. Anyway, so there's a band from Chicago called the Boll Weevils. That's what we're gonna do today.
Love it.
Yeah, they've been on a couple hiatuses,
But shout out to the Chicago Dogs, which I think is independent or college team.
This band started in '89. So yeah, they're from Chicago. And if I remember this correctly, I could be wrong, but if I remember correctly, the singer is a doctor, and then the guitar player is a principal or vice principal.
So it's just those 5 right there, buddy.
Yeah,
got 5
I always do 5 songs because I feel like. So some of the songs on there are from older albums that were re-released, so they're not exactly in chronicle order as far as years.
Yeah.
But like I said, I chose 5 songs, and I think they would be the best of some of the. Because they're gonna dig this band.
All right, 2 things I'm gonna ask you, because I'm psyched about the Boll Weevils. Every time you do music, it just makes the show better. Can you see on your laptop if there's actually anybody watching on YouTube? Because
Oh, that's what. No, I have YouTube up. I've had it up the whole time.
okay, is anybody actually watching this?
My wife.
Your wife.
Well, when she can, she's getting ready to go
Sometimes I click on random stuff that's on YouTube. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you have any randoms in there?
No, right now it's just me.
It's just.
Cause my wife. No, because my wife's been watching, but she's also been doing school stuff.
Yeah.
So she's been
So
going
it's
back
just
and
really
forth.
like only two people. Like
Yeah.
YouTube is just not featuring us.
She
on
left
the front,
comments
on the
too.
front page.
She left comments. She left a comment that said, "Dutch would be the first to get tased."
All right, we're gonna do some boll weevils. I'm gonna get this up, and then we don't really have to worry about a YouTube live stream watchers. Like I can't hear anything. Nobody will complain. It's just gonna be on Spotify.
But we are gonna try to sync up this audio with the video.
One day.
You know, you can upload video podcasts on.
I don't know. I'm interested
So
to see how that works.
If we could, like, we can upload the audio, but if we can somehow figure out how to sync this up with the video, we can start doing video releases too. Not necessarily on Spotify, but on YouTube. We'll have the video podcast up or something.
So crazy.
That'd be kind of cool.
Live streaming. It's hilarity. All right, this one is the Boll Weevils, The Witness, from my ace, Dutch Chattahoochee. Let's do it. I like it, bud.
Fucking sick, huh?
How'd you hear about these guys initially? Just because they've been around so long, everybody kind of knows the Boll Weevils?
No, I first heard about them because on Spotify, because I was.
You do the search music and you just find related?
No, so I listened to obviously a lot of pop punk, and I was listening to some song, I can't remember what it was. Anyway, so the album had finished. You know, on Spotify when you're done listening to an album or song, it starts playing similar stuff. Well, that's what this happened.
Bam,
I was listening to some album and the album had finished, and then it started playing the Boll Weevils. I was like, fuck.
It's gonna work out because one day we're gonna go to Chicago to go to Wrigley, and then the Boll Weevils will come, and then I'm gonna have an aneurysm like John Olerud, and then this guy's a doctor, and he's like, I can fix you.
Speaking of music, so next month in Austin, there's gonna be a Destroy Orbison show that we should probably try to go to.
Oh, hell. Yes.
It's on a Saturday.
Yes.
So I'm gonna try and see if I can go to that.
That would be awesome. Yeah. Is Miss Remy gonna be here?
I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can take it off.
Bringing our ladies or no?
I'll obviously ask her if she wants to go. To see Destroy Orbison, because
gotta go see Destroy Orbison. Gotta support.
local
Let's
tunes.
go back. I know how to use your phone now. This one is called Dysomnia by Design. Did I say that right? Dysomnia by Design, the Boll Weevils. Good stuff.
They have the sickest bass lines, dude. The bass lines are so badass.
I like it. I like the names. Their songs are pretty funny too. Random thing. So one guy's a doctor, the other guy's a principal.
Yes. So the singer is the doctor,
Okay.
And then the guitar player, either he's a vice principal or a principal.
Do we know what kind of doctor?
No, I do not.
Because the doctor mentioned made me think about John Olerud. You know the story of why that dude wore a helmet because he had a brain aneurysm in college. Great Blue Jays hitter, but he played with some other teams, had some great years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? But here's the crazy thing about that. And his dad was a doctor who did those kind of surgeries, so ultimate no choice. He operated on his son.
Every time I take my hat off, to scratch my head, my fucking headphones fall.
I know how that goes. But isn't that crazy? Like, you become a doctor, and you're a neurosurgeon, and then your son has an affliction where you actually have the skills to be the person who could operate on it. It's the ultimate no choice, right?
Yeah.
You're just like, I don't have a choice to not do this surgery because if I let somebody else do it and something goes wrong, I'll never be able to sleep at night. So
and we now have 3 watchers on the live stream.
3 watchers? All right. Well, we're talking about
I
John
think
Olerud.
so. My aunt and my wife, I believe, are the other 2.
And Cheryl?
Yeah.
Dude, number 1 fans. It's awesome.
So now we have 3 people.
I wonder, my sister checks out our stuff on YouTube sometimes at work, so if it's my sis, what's up? But, because I was like, are you listening to our podcast on Spotify? She's like, no, I just like put it on the background and on YouTube. So she listens to the audio on YouTube.
I listen to them doing schoolwork sometimes. I was like, type in doing schoolwork.
A lot of times I review us the day of when I'm driving out to class, but I think it was like the Roki Society. Oh, you know, it was the Black Mist Japanese bribery scandal was our lowest listened to. But hopefully the live stream helps boost numbers.
Until somebody discovers us and be like, yo, those are good topics and good input. So.
We're Mr. Gelati, Mr. Berry have discovered us. So
yeah.
that's good
The
stuff.
fact that they knew what the video was is like, oh shit, they actually
checked it out.
Yeah.
Checking out some Wiffle in the Woods.
We got a subscriber through that too.
That's the type of people we are. We adapt and overcome. But anyway, one of this Bo Evil's guy's a doctor, and that just made me think of the Olerud thing. The fact the guy operated on his own son.
So I think that's why they broke up the first time was because he finished medical school. So he's like, hey guys.
Did you go to like Northwestern Medical, one of those like kick-ass Chicago?
To be honest.
I love Chicago, such a great city.
There's only so much you can find on the internet about these dudes.
All right, this one's called Fence Sitter.
Oh, this is like one of my favorites by them.
All right, well you're good at picking music, buddy. So Fence Sitter from the Boll Weevils. Sorry to the YouTube viewers.
Oh, they can't.
Can't hear it.
It's your opinion. I could do without.
Yeah.
I like that.
Got some good lyrics.
That's like one of my favorite songs by them, by the way.
I don't like. I really want to go to the Destroy Orbison show with you because I think a punk show with Dice Shadow should be so much fun. But like, I can't listen to the lyrics because I'm just like, I'm like a wild animal.
Yeah.
Like, when am I going to jump into the pit?
You got to at the show, like
you got to jump in the pit at the show.
The energy just takes you, man.
Energy just takes you,
You can't
and then
help it.
like you're the old guy at the show, so then the kids are gonna thrash you, and you're just like, okay, it's like you just go in and out.
You'll
like,
be at a show, right? You'll be like, just somehow you'll be chilling. Next thing you know, like it's over. You're like, fuck, what happened? Like the energy just consumed you.
Yeah,
and you just
get
lost.
so amped up.
You lost yourself in the.
That'd be so much fun. Man, I'm gonna try to get the hall pass for that one.
I'll have to see what's up in it. I think it's like right after I come back from my vacation, so I don't know if I'll be able to get it off.
You know, that would be like good video content to do like some pre-game interview with those guys.
It'd be almost like a also we could do like a vlog.
Yeah, pre-game interview.
3BGB goes to a punk show.
Yeah, a pre-game interview, and then like get
sick.
some show footage, and then like post-game interview. That would be some great content, honestly. Everybody loves punk show, and then like just promote Destroy Orbison for the awesome band that they are.
We're here live at the show with Destroy Orbison here out of Austin, Texas, live.
That would be so great. And
Tony,
apologies to our 3 YouTube listeners because they
Yeah.
can't hear that music. We can't figure out how to do that with OBS. But anyway.
So when the music is playing, it's just they're just staring at us
They're
like,
just
what
staring-
are
that's
they
why
doing?
I feel like I should. That's why I was doing that. Sometimes I do the like
to
it's
give
like
the
a
impression that
jig-
there's music.
a jiggly running man, I call it. It's like my arms are like shaking
What if we
salt
were-
shaker style, but I'm like,
What if we were listening to instrumental music from the 1800s or some shit?
so yeah, they don't know what we're listening to. All right, we got 2 more. This one's called 7.5 Clicks, bud.
You're like,
Good stuff.
well, the song was playing. I took a quick bite of the food. I was so hungry. I was
Well,
like, fuck.
I was rolling over to look at
I need my
audition. I
sandwich.
almost ate shit. Did you see
I
that?
saw you just fell.
Fuck, that'd be great
I
content.
think you need to calm down there, buddy.
If I would have fell over
Where's,
and slammed my face.
As your fellow Canadians would say, hey, you take it easy, eh, bud?
It's
You're
crazy.
gonna fall.
Totally crazy. Like I can see the OBS over here. I got so many cords
Dude,
going
there's
on.
this fucking live guy competing with us right now.
What?
Yeah, it says live. Create a sci-fi movie poster. Fuck him, dude.
I don't know. I don't want to hate on anybody because I feel like eventually they're all going to get on the 3BGB bandwagon.
Just go in his live stream, leave a comment. Please go watch this one instead.
Yeah, just check him out.
What you do?
Just like I say,
You
go.
spam him with comments. Join 3BGB
Yeah,
live stream.
go check that out. Like, go watch the 3BGB cat videos.
I'm eating right now while we're talking. I don't care. 'Cause I'm fucking hungry.
You can watch our Wiffle Ball in the Woods video only after you've watched all the cat feeding videos. Support that guy. You know what I'm saying?
That was laughing.
I'm gonna
Because
choke
that
you
guy,
on
he's
your-
like, 3B, I can't do that laughing.
It's the breakfast. He screams breakfast.
He goes, 3BGB breakfast!
I
like
can just
that
say this
guy.
as a cat man and cat lover. Those videos are great. I mean, I'm not even. People would.
I don't like cats. I think it's his personality that gets it for me.
I know we're not protective in that way. We're not protective about anybody horning in on the brand. We're here to just kind of promote everything, really.
Because
know?
people's like, what's 3BGB stand for? I'm like, CBGB
Well,
in third base.
Yeah, you never. It's just a good match because CBGBs is so legendary
I
in
know.
punk culture.
I think it started out like as a
the
blues,
epicenter.
a blues country bar, I think, or something.
Yeah, he thought it was gonna be like bluegrass and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
but just got a bunch of original music in there. It's just like the epicenter of the punk movement,
When
or one of them.
when our band gets going,
There's a lot in England, but you got that, and then 3B means it's a play on third base ground ball, which is not how you annotate it for keeping score. Which I'm excited to call the games because you get to keep score, and I love keeping score in a ball game. I get my scorebook out and keep track of the pitch count and all that stuff and call the game. I'm excited.
It's the 5-4-3 double play.
That's right. So one more tune for the Boll Weevils, and then we'll do a summary and outro wrap for the 3 YouTube
I'm ready for the
viewers.
outro music. It's just sick.
For the YouTube
Now, if you're
viewers.
watching at the beginning of the live stream, you could hear it through the speakers, so you know what it is.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I'm
I would say to anybody streaming, go ahead and watch the Sci-Fi Guy now for the next minute and a half.
It's like
And then come
right
back.
underneath ours. It says
Come right back to us. Come on back.
he's teaching you how to. Now, there's one that we won't never be able to compete with, the what's he called? Pat McAfee show.
Oh yeah, we can't do that.
That guy's like a beast of fucking content.
Isn't he like an NFL punter or whatever?
Yeah, he's played for the Colts.
All right. Well,
Colts, man. Fuck them
three
Colts.
BGB one of these days. You never know. But the whole point is have fun with baseball.
I agree.
You can't lose. Can't lose there. All right, liniment and tonic. If I'm saying that right, liniment and tonic. The Boll Weevils.
I'm gonna eat my sandwich while this plays.
I like that. Nice fast beat. That's good stuff.
I think that's one of their newer, recent songs. I don't know how old it is, but it's one of their newest ones.
Here's my question: since we're gonna have recorded video, like the live stream people, you're just screwed. You didn't hear it.
But hopefully we can match up this video.
Are you saying we're gonna sync it in Avid and post it?
Well, we're gonna record. We're gonna post the podcast itself, obviously.
Yeah.
But then we'll be able to take this video, the podcast audio, and sync it up with
the video
OBS software video, and hopefully
do that. But you're saying marry them in Avid.
I think because we're recording the video now in OBS, right?
Yeah.
So once we stop recording, we'll just sync it. We'll try to sync it together, and then start putting not live streams up, but video podcasts. Because then this audio will be synced with the video audio, so it will sound like we're speaking through a mic, so it'll sound really good and look good. Because a live stream, all you hear is the room.
Yeah.
So you hear us talking, but you don't get to hear the music or the calls. And you're like, I wonder what they're listening to.
Do you think now's a good time to do another clapper? Like, I guess if you have the clapper at the beginning, it doesn't even matter. Once one of them's lined up, then it's all lined up.
Yeah. So I'll do the clapper. This is a clapper.
Dutch and traditional.
Produced by 3BGB, right? The Roll 3712.
Yep.
The scene, live, I guess.
Yep.
Take 1 million.
That's about right.
The directors are Dutch and Turnstile. The year is 2001, and it is 32-day sync. That's
right.
the time.
That sounds all right. All that sounds extremely accurate.
So someone's like, what time is it again? 32-day sync.
It's got to have that sound clap. That's
I'm going to clap it. Ready?
Yeah.
Ready for this?
That's perfect.
Hold on. It didn't. There we go.
Oh, I saw it in there. See, this is the next one.
Okay.
Got it.
But we need something louder.
You don't want too many.
Yeah.
I just want one. I actually used the sound clapper video sound sync.
People don't understand how important these things are.
On the wiffle ball video.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
It helped me line it up.
These are super important. You should always have one of these around.
It was hard.
Especially for our field.
But
that
you
we're
have
going.
to zoom in. You have to zoom in
Yeah.
because you can see that one little sound wave.
Yeah.
And then line it up.
But the importance of this is to be able to match it up without trying to.
It's unbelievable.
Of course, there are some programs that are really badass that you just throw it in there and then the computer does it itself. But we don't have that program.
I think it's shout outs outro time.
Yeah.
And I didn't even shit on Major League Baseball once yet this entire episode, which is like my favorite hobby.
Yeah, I will make a shout out.
Did you see Roger Clemens pitched like a 20 strikeout game or something 8
No,
months after
I don't pay
arm
attention to
surgery?
that fucking dude.
Well, there's a cool Donruss baseball card from like 86 or 87.
I bought a pack of Donruss baseball cards. It's funny because they don't have the rights to the logos of the teams, so, but they're still great cards.
Well, it was the point being is that that game Clemens has not possible pitch count.
It's not.
Coming off surgery, you're gonna let the guy strike out 20 dudes? Nope.
Because
not in today's game.
Because what do they say they want you to do? Keep under what 10 pitches in an inning or some shit?
I don't know what it is, but anyway, I digress. I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna stay positive. I'm so psyched about the River Monsters, all the River Monster players coming. Obviously,
I'm excited to go to the stadium and hang out, like, and see the game itself, right?
You talk to Mr. Berry, Mr. Gelati, the head shed,
they
all
clearly
class.
They clearly know what they're doing.
All class, putting together a great outfit.
Plus, they're baseball guys. They played,
shoes.
so they can understand.
I kind of wanted to get into more about that, but most of my interviews are just kind of by the seat of my pants, so I'm just
winging it.
Jumping from one.
Next time I'll maybe try to insert myself a little bit more.
Jump in there, bud. Whenever, just shut me up. Just jump right in there. I just the one connection because I had lunch with Mr. G out there. And talked a little bit. I thought it was funny because one of the summer teams that we played against in my summer league was in Utica, and I think and he'll have to correct me. I kind of remember Utica being a really pretty town on a kind of like a steep, rocky, craggy, hilly area. It was very beautiful. I thought. I can't remember if that was Geneva or Utica, but upstate New York's absolutely gorgeous. But you got Mr. Berry's catching back there, and catchers are extremely knowledgeable about the game, much like Yogi Berra. So those guys are just baseball guys. Can't rub enough shoulders with baseball guys. Shout out to Mr. Nakatomi. Golf Thursday. You should have seen how pissed off he got.
Can I make one more?
Go ahead.
Can I make a shout out before we get to this story? I want to give a shout out to the Burger King on Tesla Road.
Yes.
And here's why. I'm being dead fucking serious about this.
Love.
So there's this Burger King. I work off of Tesla Road, right? There's a Burger King next to my job. And every single time I've gone there, or my wife and I have gone there together, the food's always fucking good. It always tastes so good. And the order's always right. And it's just, I don't know, that specific Burger King.
Oh, it's definitely that specific Burger King, because I love Burger King, and there's one off of 90 West. I won't go to that one anymore because the shake machines there work, and the shit ain't
But the one on Tesla Road is always good. It's like right there on the corner. Like there's a Walmart across the street. And this one is always good, man. And I've been going to this one for years, right? So I just wanted to give a shout out to the Tesla Burger King. So if anybody ever listens who works there, you're fucking great. Because I think fast food workers are underappreciated.
That's true.
Because you're constantly making food. Because people going in and out and they expect the food to be made quickly. That's why it's called fast food, right?
I mean.
So shout out to them.
That is.
Because they could be busy and they're always
it's a tough gig.
And that Burger King, they're always like stoked. Like every time I've gone there, they're always like, "Hey, how you doing?" You know.
I guess I never worked in food service. I did grocery stocking.
Yeah.
I did Jiffy Lube. Where have I worked?
I worked at a pizza place for like a year.
I worked at a pizza place.
And it was an easy job, but yeah, it sucked. It gets busy on the weekend and no breaks. I don't think I ever took a break at lunch when I worked there. I think I just worked always through my shifts.
Yeah. So.
I was 18, boy. Get in there and make.
So, Mr. Nakatomi's second shot on the 6th hole goes right in the sand trap. I was like, whatever, it's easy up and down. He'll get it on the green. Chops it, ball hits the lip, rolls back in. He's a little bit perturbed because he loves golf. Does it again. After about 3 hacks in the sand trap, and I can't really see him because it's like a deep sand trap. I see the club go flying out of there, and he goes, "Kusakare!" And then he almost, like, his caddy is from Japan. He, like, helps him around the office some. And I thought he was about to slap him in the face. But then he pulled out that little flask. And then he drank it. And he kind of calmed down. But, man, total meltdown on the 6th.
He talks to you like that? Because he's not as nice to me.
He doesn't talk to us like that. He was just pissed about he added 5 strokes on that one. So
he tried to add me on Facebook. I told him no.
Well, he loves you, I'll tell you
what.
what.
He doesn't need to be in my personal life.
Is our benefactor around here. Mr. G, Mr. Berry, and Mr. Nakatomi, man. Stay close to the guys.
And we're still the number one radio show on 97.9 The Cat.
97.9 The Cat can't get rid of us. I know they'd love to, but look at the numbers, bud. That's all I'm saying. Leonard and Will up there, look at the numbers.
And
they
we're
come talk to me. I'm untouchable.
We're currently working on a slogan for the cat. We're trying to come up with something.
The cat.
Make it. Nakatomi.
Seguin River Monsters.
Nakatomi said, "Do whatever you want. Any kind of slogan. I'll approve it."
Other shout outs: Jack Ivy. Bless you, man. Thanks for doing all the work for the Weimar Hormigas out of charity and his love of Weimar baseball. And then hands it off to Andrew Dunn, who, if we can ever track that guy down, absolutely busiest guy in the world, trying to run the Pecos League. UTSA Roadrunners, Coach Hallmark out there doing good stuff. Coach Reyes and the rest, Coach Morales, everybody going. City of Seguin.
Reyes,
who are we forgetting, Dutch?
Seguin, Reyes. I mean, just the players coming to Seguin to play.
Got some good ones.
You got to give that to them.
Got some Phi Beta Kappas in there.
Give it up to the players who decided I want to go to Seguin as opposed to other teams.
Find a nice rhythm with your partnering. I'll try to give some tickets to local law enforcement, and hopefully everything just goes over hunky dory.
Hey, you want an Oreo there, officer?
I'll tell you what. I mean, I'm pretty much known in these parts as the #1 Far East baseball card smuggler and dealer, especially when it comes to KBO and Japanese League.
They don't touch you though, because there's ramifications they don't want to deal with.
Import-export taxes, they're never going to get me.
Because I'm looking at some of those illegal cards right now. Some of those Nippon League.
Look at these bricks right here. Bricks. Unopened. That's mint. Stacks.
If Johnny Law was around, they saw those, I might lose my co-host here. I might have to do the show by myself.
Can't get that.
I'm kind of scared of that. Because what if I say something that I shouldn't say out loud?
This here's I think this is also Japanese, but these are special. And then this is my KBO.
I do like those archives baseball cards sitting over there though.
Yeah, those are nice. All right, buddy. Well, thanks for coming in and doing it. Do you think I guess maybe the switch up from the donuts to the breakfast sandwiches, in my mind, is what was going to make the live stream happen?
I always
forget.
It
kind of did.
I keep meaning to bring tacos in here, but then I forget.
I don't know. I think these sandwiches are healthier for us than the donuts. I don't even know where mine is, but all right, man. Until next Tuesday, maybe we'll go out and see Smokey Joe Williams Ballpark.
I think so. Next week.
Yeah, when are you heading out?
The following week, which is I'm leaving on the 16th, I think.
Okay.
So that morning at like 3 or 4 a.m.
All right. Yeah, I got some travel plans this summer that don't make a whole lot.
So I don't know if what'll happen with the podcast while I'm gone. If you do it solo, I don't know, but.
I don't know. That's gonna be weird.
Yeah.
I could put Carl there.
Or just do a 2-week hiatus. I don't know.
Just do a 2-week hiatus. I do like to keep the content coming. Maybe I'll just cause Saber's got some good stuff. Or I could just hate on MLB, aka the Adult Rec League.
What we could do
30 minutes and just give people a little bit of.
What we could do is pre-record a podcast early and then have a couple lined up to release.
Yeah, I can do that.
Like, come here on one of my days off and record it. It can even be in the evening when you're free and I'm free or something.
Yeah, because I did notice our numbers moved a little bit when we had that huge delay. So I think there was a handful of people kind of waiting for Tuesdays.
We've been consistent.
We've been pretty consistent every Tuesday.
Episode 13.
Your
favorite player, A-Rod.
A-Rod. I don't know why you would pick the number 13, as baseball players are really superstitious, but he did. And a great career, even though he's juicing. But
and he wasted the Rangers' money.
He seems like such a nice guy now. I was not an A-Rod fan, but he just genuinely doesn't seem like a terrible person. So I don't know what to say about A-Rod. Had some issues with. Remember when he slapped the ball out of that dude's hand on that tag play, and everybody was like, "That was."
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? All right, buddy. Outro we go. I love the outro music. We can talk over it because it's such good outro music.
It's historical.
Let's bring it up. And it had a funny name too. It's called Keep Off the Grass.
Yeah, Keep Off the Grass.
I feel like we're having tea.
This is like mid-movie.
Mid-movie?
Right, where they you're like working with the FBI or the government, right? And you're trying to scope out what's going on.
Do I drink with my pinky in the air?
And you fake, what do you call it? You don't fake, but you disguise yourself as one of these British royalties, but you're really with FBI members, so you just walk around and ask them questions like, I heard that Jones is going to be here today. And they're like, Jones is over there. You're like, okay, thank you. And they'll say, Jones.
Cheerio.
Go see Jones.
If we could get
Jones isn't really what the accent was.
Here's my other shout out.
What's that?
Because I would love for these guys to listen to us, though they won't, because there's like a zillion podcasts of baseball. But there's this whole entire UK, United Kingdom, baseball clubs and fans, because they, you know, how they love Premier League.
Yeah.
They do the same thing. They're just like picking teams over there. Like, I'm a Phillies. I'm with the Phillies UK, and then they just get all into that team. Just like there's Americans who are like, I decided I like Manchester United. So there's like this entire English vibe happening in Major League Baseball, because they do that game in London every year, which is kind of fun. That'd be a fun one. All right, buddy. Till next time. You the best.
See you around, sir.
We'll fade it up and then fade it back down.
Oh, you had to stop recording in OBS too. I don't know where the video goes to, but
I don't know. That's so crazy.